Drew, fix your face. We're about to record. I need a smile. Give me a smile.
Yeah, I'm in go mode. Go. Yeah, I'm in go mode. Go mode.
What's up, guys? Eddie looking wild. Welcome to a new episode of the OSA Out of Shape Allstars podcast. Episode what? 29.
There's been some discussion.
Now, this, Drew, how you say that in Spanish?
These guys can say it in Spanish. Vente nueve.
Thank you, Drew.
You
Drew is bringing the bad energy off air
Just
on
bad,
air. Come on,
just
bro.
bad energy. You see how I tried to, shake it off like a fighting? Drew just come right in with it. All right. Episode 29 of the OSA. Now, this is a dope episode because there's a lot going on today. First off, make sure you folks get out to vote. So when this air, it'll be Thursday. We'll either, you see Eddie rapping because he went out and did his job as an American. He went out and voted. This episode, we shoot it on Tuesday, but when it airs on Thursday, we'll either have Trump FOMO, or we'll have Biden holding it down, doing whatever it is he do. Either way, it's going to be a shit show, but we will see. So, but as an American, go out, make sure you vote. Now, that's one thing that's going on. 2, it's my son, Eddie Horchata's big 30 today.
Me?
30,
yeah.
30. Happy birthday to the
Birthday
kid.
boy.
Thanks,
Our
guys.
host, our leader is one day older, man. He's blessed to be here, and we blessed to have him for another year, man. So 31?
30.
No, I'm saying by the time you hit 31, this pod, I'm putting it
We'll
out
be in the
there.
studio.
We be in the fucking studio. We be getting them
We'll
checks.
Probably have a major deal.
Exactly.
We'll be
All that
sponsored
good
by
shit.
Manscaped, Advantage VPN,
All that.
Dunkin' Donuts,
Blue
Blue
Chew,
Chew,
all the shits that be going on.
any brewery that wants to sign on.
All
I'm
that
drinking
good
a
shit.
bourbon barrel-aged maple imperial stout. You figure out which one that is.
So
You know who
this
you
is
are.
a big day, man. Happy birthday, happy Don Day to Ed.
Thanks.
But again, it's Election Tuesday. But like always, this episode is sponsored by Culture Capsule. Brought to you by Culture Capsule and sponsored by Don's LLC. Now, today we are missing a few people. Kev is currently working a polls, helping people in the process of picking our president, as well as DQ, unfortunately, is dealing with some medical issues. Again, that mud butt has taken over once again, got him out for week 2.
It
So we
controls this
holding it down.
podcast.
It does. So it's the 4 horsemen today, and we're going to hold it down for the squad, and we're going to get through this pod. So, fellas, let me go around to, first off, I'm going to go to my favorite co-host on this shit, you know what I'm saying? Near and dear to my heart, one of the creator behind all the shit that we do, the smartest man I know. Give it up for Mr. Drew.
Yeah.
Drew.
What's up, everybody? What's up?
Drew.
Drew's in a bad mood
I
today.
just said, what's up, everybody? Get on, bro.
All right,
Ooh.
next up. Looking like Chung. Give it up for the boy, Johnny Five.
As in Tommy Chung?
Yeah, as a Tommy Chung. Now, we already shout out Ed, so.
Yeah, no need for that. No need
Our
for
host, Eddie Horchata, big 30 today. And last but not least, my mama called me Devin, so you can call me Devin. Drew called me bitch. But let's get into the episode. And this is In Case You Missed It. Always kicking it off with COVID in sports. Now, COVID was busy this week. The last couple of weeks, it's been a little low key. This week, COVID is showing his ass. Now, we're going to start off with the LA Dodgers. As we know, World Series champions. And celebrating, having a good time. But what exactly happened with the Dodgers, Eddie? Player Justin Tucker, I believe his name, right?
Justin Turner.
Justin
Thank you,
Turner.
Drew. Yeah, Justin Turner.
Now he was tested positive for COVID, correct?
Yeah, and he was pulled in the 7th inning.
7th inning.
But
after the Dodgers had a pretty comfortable lead.
Right. But then he returned to the field at some point?
Oh, yeah.
The whole celebration when they finally won the whole championship, Justin Turner came out from taking pictures with the whole thing, posing with the trophy, was walking around with it. And bad idea. He got COVID. Everybody knew at that point. Even the Dodgers whole staff knew at that point. You got COVID. Shit, you're not supposed to be doing. Even when they take the team picture, even though he took off his mask or whatever, he's sitting right next to the Dodgers manager with just recovering from. I think it was Hodgkin's lymphoma, right? Ed?
Mm-hmm.
Was Hodgkin's lymphoma?
Yep.
The year before, so it's a bad look. That's what it basically is.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's funny as hell. So they allowed them to come back out.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they did. I mean, we all have to understand this, right? It's obviously you worked your whole life to get there. So I don't want to not fault them, and I also don't want to give them an excuse or give them a reason or anything like that. But again, it's honestly, guys, if we were playing on a team that won a World Series or a Super Bowl or NBA final, you're going to want to be there, right? But honestly, I think this is a bigger stint on the Dodgers and baseball as a whole. How does someone get to play 7 innings of baseball?
It was
a crucial hitter on your team as well. Justin Turner's no slouch. He's one of the best third basemen in the league, and he's also he's got one of the best bats in the league as well, and got them to where they were that day. So for him to get pulled out in the 7th, we'll talk about guys getting pulled out later or earlier than we're supposed to a little later on today. But for him to get pulled in the 7th when they had it wasn't a great lead. Dodgers ended up winning that 3-1. But I'm pretty sure the Dodgers thought that they had it in the bag. The bats were starting to wake up after Jock Peterson's home run. It was pretty much set in stone, and obviously we went and saw that at the end, and Mookie's big hit at the end there too. So it was pretty much locked up. So they went ahead and pulled Justin Turner. Now here's the thing.
So
they didn't find out. How did they find out in the 7th inning?
Right.
Yeah. That's
again, he's one of our best hitters. So and Justin Turner said, and we wrapped up last week at the end. So I caught the end of the celebration here. Turned on the TV and turned the volume back on the TV. Sorry, and they were talking to Cody Bellinger. And Cody Bellinger was saying, we really wish that Justin was out here with us. He deserves to be out here with us. And then I honestly shut the TV off and went to bed. And then woke up the next day and saw all the clips of Justin Turner going back out there. So again, in his defense, but not giving him any excuse, in his head, if I was out there for 7 innings,
what is going to kill me
what's
now?
What's the difference now? If I was literally slapping fives with all my guys in the dugout, out on the field, obviously there's a little distancing on the field there, but in the dugout, hanging out in the batter's box and all that stuff, there's no way that he didn't give anybody a high five before the game. So I think in his head he was just well, I guess I'm not a spreader. But obviously this story has overtaken the World Championship Series that was for the Dodgers. It's all become about Justin Turner. So it's kind of stupid. Yeah.
My biggest question now with that, knowing that they put them in the 7th inning, and Johnny, you haven't said much, but so I'll pose it to you. Do you feel MLB is being negligent in a sense because again they're supposed to be doing these testing? You can't get COVID from the 1st inning to the 7th inning, so there had to be some negligence that took place. But because it was a high stakes game, they let it pass. So do you feel that MLB was being negligent, or they purposely allowed him playing, or someone might have known that he had it, but because the game was such a high stake game, it's the fucking World Series, that they let him slide through?
I don't know if it was negligent, but I'm pretty sure someone went and did some, undercover, cover it up, just go out there, don't worry about it, be good, and that's how he ended up playing. Because there's no way He played a whole game. I thought he got pulled down like fifth. He got pulled down to seventh. That's almost the game.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
literally almost the game.
Again,
Yeah,
once
it
they
is.
had the lead, I think it was Mookie's home run that pretty much got him out of the game.
It's like the whole story they said was like during up to the game, the test, because he did 2 tests. It's like the first test came back inconclusive. And now wherever with the second test, wherever it probably was that night, because I don't know how the test is just coming back that night. Said the second test came back positive. That's when they decide to pull him. That's the whole story that they are running with. That's what they tell me.
Even with something like that, test come back inclusive. Do you play a player under that, like not knowing? It's like
no, yeah, that's the thing. So it's like if it does come back, like you said, Drew, if it came back like inconclusive, it's like, well, then yeah, Justin, you're not playing. There's like been jokes, and I obviously like I'll do the hackadoodle take like the da-na-na guy take, where it's like, oh well, maybe the doctor was a Dodgers fan. I have no other reason to believe why else he wouldn't be there.
Exactly.
But again, it's a hack take, but I'm gonna take it.
And again, coming into the new season, because again, it presents a lot of different situations now because we live with COVID, and I think we're going to be living with COVID like forever. We're going to be living with COVID. That's just going to be the way the world is. And when it comes to professional sports, you have, again, games like this, World Series, NBA Finals, and you have important pieces important players that come down where anybody else normally would be pulled. But because it's such a high-stake moment, they slide it
under the rep.
Yeah. I mean, it's no different in how the NFL handled concussions. It's no different in how, again, like, our father's version of sports is where, it's like you had a concussion or you had a broken ankle. It's like, take a cortisone shot and get back out there. Obviously that's not today's athlete anymore. I think it's actually a smarter move because now these athletes are lasting longer. Look at guys like Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Brett Gardner today, in baseball still doing it. Justin Verlander recreated his career. So again, it's like not using these HGH and taking the health of players a little bit more seriously has given us a better product. So, but yeah,
We'll see. Again, congratulations to the Dodgers for winning the World Series.
Yeah, finally won one.
Sorry, this story has to be led to be.
Well, this era of the Dodgers team.
Right.
They've been a long time coming.
Yeah. John, you good? You look froze, bro.
I'm moving my service on and off. I was going to say, I guess it could be an honorable mention, but I feel like since we're on the topic of COVID, I don't know what the reports is that the college brawl between the Florida Gators and other team.
Right, yeah. And again,
that was Mississippi. No,
right. I was
Missouri.
going to bring that up.
Missouri.
They just had that big ass brawl. Now again, college seems to be having COVID the worst, having issues with the COVID more than anybody. For them to be allowed to have such a big ass brawl like that and all the issues that they already be having in college, and
Florida.
Right. In Florida, that's a bad fucking look, like all together.
I mean, but to think about it, it's what I understand COVID, but at the end of the day, it's sports. Brawls like that's gonna happen in sports. Like, how can they stop from having a brawl? Like, when shit happens.
Well, that's true, but we're in different times now. It's different protocols and procedures that go into it. Obviously, they want to prevent brawls at all costs.
Tell me how you gonna stop a fight.
It is what it is.
Tell me how you gonna stop a fight.
Come on now.
But see, that goes back to people urging that like these kids should be out there. So then now that gives them the people that's on the side of they should be out there. It's like, look, now they're not even taking into consideration the world that we living in, them having these issues, and now they're having these brawl in which they can possibly infect multiple people. Like, this is why.
I get your point. I
get the point. It gives the naysayers a reason to be like, see, this is why look like that
I
is
definitely
even
get
more and shit. So, and speaking of college, we got Trevor Lawrence, the biggest player in college, coming down with COVID. Now, it's a good chance we might not see him anymore when it comes to college.
Well, are you sure? Because are you sure we're not gonna see him in college no more?
Well,
Listen,
it's not.
he's no matter what, he's going to be the first overall quarterback taken off the board. Period. Even if he's not the number 1 overall pick, with unfortunately the New York Jets being there, more than likely. If it's not going to be the Knicks, I said Knicks, another garbage franchise. If it's not going to be the Jets, it's going to be if it's Jacksonville at number 2, or if Jacksonville ends up with number 1, he's going to be the first quarterback taken off the board, automatic, 100%. Yeah, there's no other way about it, unless somebody falls deeply, madly in love with Landry Fields. Is the kid's name? What's the kid's name?
I mean, Landry Fields is doing. Landry Fields cooking. Like, honestly,
is it? One more time, John.
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. Thank you.
Justin Fields. Justin Fields is another guy that is.
Landry Fields is from the comebacks.
Yeah, but ain't nobody overtaking Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
I mean,
and again, he has no reason really to play. What happened?
No, I said Justin Fields is good though. I don't think
Justin Fields is good.
Yeah, he's definitely good, but he ain't gonna take over Lawrence. Lawrence is the biggest prospect coming out of college this year. But
since Peyton Manning, no?
Yeah, and again for the last couple of years they've been wanting him to come out since he stepped out there. So but there's a possibility we might see him again. Look at how the draft fall out. He might stay.
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. Is he gonna come out?
He's 100% not playing against Boston College. And obviously, when this report came out, the beginning was, oh my God, is he okay? Again, health wise, is he feeling the symptoms the way that Freddie Freeman did when he thought he was almost going to die? But once they realized that the news came out that he was going to be okay, the very next question was, is he going to play against Notre Dame? And that's that bullshit. That's where again, at this point, we're back to we kind of had this conversation before, to where it's do we not care about these players? And do we not care about what they're going to do? All we care about is when they're going to play their next game. And it's I understand that the Clemson fans do want to beat Notre Dame, but at the end of the day, it really just matters about Trevor's future, about where he's going in the NFL if he decides to come out of college, which, again, I'm pretty sure his value is not going to be any higher than it is now. So I don't think.
And that's the issue. Again, that's the issue that everyone has with college because, again, we all wishing for his health, a speedy recovery. But honestly, all they care about is selling these fucking tickets and making their dollars. Mm-hmm. And Notre Dame and Clemson is a big game. And that's really what they give a fuck about. They don't care about that boy health. It's over for him. He's done all he needed to do. They want him out there for one last time or whatever the case may be, so they can profit as much as they want. So, Trevor, do what you got to do for you, bro. Make sure your health is intact. Fuck them. You've done enough. And that's what it is in regards to Trevor. We got a few more people dealing with COVID. Johnny, your guy, the Red Dragon, what's his name? Andy Dalton. What's his nickname? The Red
Rifle?
Red Rifle.
Red Rocket. Red Rifle. Red Rifle. Red Rocket.
The Red Robin. He's dealing with COVID. He's dealing with COVID as well.
He got COVID. I thought he just got knocked out.
They put him on the COVID list, the COVID watch list.
He got knocked out. He got COVID.
You get knocked out. You get.
Well, I'm sure it's because he probably was in the hospital where there was probably an outbreak or something. I don't think he actually has it, but I think he could have probably.
Yeah, They haven't said that he has it. He's on the COVID watch.
He could have been exposed.
Yeah, he's on the COVID watch list. Hall of Famer, ex-football player Desmond Howard is recovering from COVID. He's Heisman winner, also one of the sportscasters for College Game Day. He's dealing with COVID. You got a few Vikings players dealing with COVID, a few Broncos players dealing with COVID. COVID was kicking ass this week. But any other COVID cases I'm missing? Because that's all I got.
That's the big stuff.
Will Hernandez from the Giants. He was dealing with COVID.
Who's that?
Will Hernandez.
The second round pick you guys had 2 years ago. You had bright spots, good feelings about it.
Last year.
That guy worked out.
He's recovering. But we'll get to the Giants later. That's pretty much COVID. If y'all want to, we done with COVID. We can move right into the NFL recap.
I'm done with COVID.
Yeah.
COVID, we done.
Yeah.
All right, so
right into it.
Let's get into the NFL recap now. Good games. This week. Some good games this week. Drew, what's one of the high points of the week for you? Week 8.
Is it really a high point? None of my teams really won, so
all 8 of them.
Okay. All right, cool. All 8 of them, right. Fuck. I mean, only a high point is like this is kind of a blow to my shit. The Steelers is still undefeated, so that's where
still kicking ass. I thought honestly, I honestly thought the Ravens. I thought Ravens was gonna beat them.
I've been saying it since the beginning of the season. Ravens are good against bad teams and so good against good teams.
They had that game though. Like only was stupid mistakes and turnovers by.
Okay, two fumbles, 2 interceptions. Not a good game.
But bro,
that's not mistakes. That's a problem.
You go all the way down, like it's 28. They
could get worse
because all the mistakes they had, they really could. Like the running game, like their running game was stupid.
Drew,
the Ravens need a wideout. The passing game is awful. I agree with my team. The passing game is awful.
Drew, the Ravens had 2 opportunities to prove. Because again, let's just throw. For good teams in the NFL, specifically teams in the AFC, for good teams in the NFL, the regular season doesn't fucking matter. It's when you get to the playoffs. No, hear me out. It's when you get to the playoffs, and if you are the Baltimore Ravens, can you beat the Kansas City Chiefs? Can you beat the Pittsburgh Steelers? No, and in both occasions in the regular season, they lost to both these teams.
Can you really say no?
They haven't done it, and they've been knocked out of the first round.
They were only one game. You act like they can't beat the Pittsburgh Steelers based on one game.
Drew, I said they had 2 opportunities. They had 2 opportunities to beat 2 of the best teams in football to put themselves in that conversation of being one of the top teams in the NFL. Right or wrong? They had 2 opportunities. Right or wrong?
Yeah. And
what I'm saying is, in those 2 games, they are 0-2, and now I go back to their playoff record. They went to the playoffs 2 years in a row, both eliminated in the first round. Again, that first year, I give Lamar Jackson and the Ravens a pass because it was the first year under that young team. They'd never been there before. But then to go on, be the number 1 seed, Lamar Jackson,
was it
MVP
the first round,
season.
Second round?
It was I'm sorry, they got the bye, but their first appearance in the playoffs.
All right.
Again, they have 2 playoff appearances, 0 playoff wins.
Yeah, I mean, it's his team is still growing. He just got drafted last year. Lamar got drafted last year.
3 years ago.
Again, so basically, what he said, going into the playoffs this year, it doesn't look good for the Ravens based on their history and going out their first game in the last 2 years. And then when they played against the 2 best teams in their division, they haven't played right. They haven't played up to – so to go into the playoffs with all of that, it doesn't look good for them. That's Eddie. That's basically what Eddie's saying.
That's what I'm saying.
All I'm much I understand the Kansas City Chief one, but really like legitimately, like the Pittsburgh Steelers could have been a win. It just so happens that they lost the game. You really think they had the Pittsburgh Steelers by the ropes? Like,
yeah. I mean, and Drew, watching that game, they did nothing special. They couldn't get the ball through the air. They couldn't even run the Steelers. And they still walked away with a win. I'm saying the Ravens did everything in their power to lose that game. You can't throw through 2 interceptions and have 2 fumbles if you're Lamar Jackson. You can't. You just can't. You can't win football games that way. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch out. I knew the Steelers won. The Steelers defense.
No, I knew it was a lock.
No, honestly, I thought they were gonna give him. I thought Lamar with his skills.
Like
of course, their defense is great, but I thought Lamar would have something that will counteract the defense.
Like honestly, the running game mostly like it was only certain instances where the running game was like mad stop. Like you really think about the fourth quarter, their running game was gashing them up until the spot where it was like what I say like the last sequence up until that 4th and 3rd is where the running game where they stalled them. Like you thinking that 4th quarter, the running game was gashing them all the way. Like
Yeah, and then it was a fumble right at the end. No, that's what it was. It was the Claypool touchdown that was essentially going to put the dagger, and the fumble that ended the game.
Actually, at the end, Bud Dupree just stopped him right in his face. Like the 4th and 3rd, Bud Dupree was like, even if Lamar didn't fumble that ball, he would have been stopped anyway. Bud Dupree had him dead to rights anyway on that play. No matter if it was fumbled or not. Like it was like how many seconds was left on it? It was
like 20 seconds, not even.
Yeah,
it wasn't
like if
bad.
you stop him right there, it's 4th and 3. There was no way if it was a fumble or not. Like there's no way you can. That fumble is non-conclusive. It just so happens he fumbled the ball. It doesn't really matter. If he had the ball, it would have been he lost the game right there.
Yeah. All right, John. Now, we speaking on the Pittsburgh's Ravens and Drew's teams, plural. But John, you
it's funny. Ed brought up the Chiefs, and
let me talk about teams.
This is gonna get for. Did anybody catch the Chiefs swag surfing on the Jets Sunday?
Yeah,
no,
of course.
I ain't see that.
I didn't
Swag
see that at
surfing
all.
on the field.
That game was horrible, bro. I turned it off.
Yeah, because you're not a real fan.
Okay. I'm not a real fan if I don't watch my team get slaughtered.
Yeah. Watch the whole game. It was awful.
I'm not watching
Start
my
to
team
finish.
get slaughtered. Yo, that is mad suspect.
Damn. Hit the swag surf on them.
Drew, if you Dev, if you want to add
Devin, did you just hear
2 seconds.
right
2
here?
seconds. 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
All right.
So when the Jets swag surfed against the Bills, I think it was on that Thursday night football game. Again, mind you, we had only won like one game prior to that. If you could put those two clips side by side of the Jets doing that and then the Chiefs doing that, and then the two major differences in both teams is that one team had multiple wins, the other team did not. One team went on to blow up the rest of that team. The other team won a Super Bowl and is probably going to win another one at some point.
I'm going to put that in here. But, John, your game, highlight, Tampa.
It was basically the Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their game is basically the same thing that happened.
John, how you feel about it? To me, my favorite game of the week. I like seeing Giants lose, but how do you feel about that game, John?
The Giants can't add that game.
Could have won.
Here we go again.
The Giants could have won that game. I'm sorry. Like the Giants.
Giants could have won that game.
It was D. Jones.
No, they couldn't. No, they couldn't. Okay, hold on. Time out. So I was recently traveling back from out of the state, and I didn't catch the Giant game until I got home. When I got home, it was halftime, and it was about to start the third quarter. And I was like, holy shit, Giants up 14-6. Like, that's nuts. Like, and obviously off air, I created a meme in preparation for the Giants to win that game. Because, again, all I saw was the score. I did not see any first quarter highlights. All I saw was the score. And I had Dev with something ready to go just in case this game happened. I was sitting right next to my girlfriend on this couch watching that game, turned on the third quarter. And I said, man, I'm thinking of Johnny and Kev and all my Giant fan friends. I'm like, man, these guys are mad hype right now. I guarantee you they're fired up. I was like, all I need is a wide open like run, and I could just picture Kevin like smashing his head on the walls, fired up, like waking up his mom, waking up grandma, Johnny screaming, his mom yelling at him. And I watched Daniel Jones throw that fucking awful interception, and I turned to her and I said, that's the end of the game. And I guarantee you, Johnny and Kevin, for a moment, think that they're going to win this game. And I knew from that moment that game was over, and I shut the TV off.
It was.
So go ahead, John. You tell me how you could have won the game.
It was that game, like honestly, he threw the ball too late. Like Deion Lewis was wide open. Like he threw the ball
that's another
late.
thing I'm gonna get into, but that's another thing. What I was gonna say is Daniel Jones appeared to be having a somewhat okay game. I'm not gonna say decent. I'm gonna say okay. He missed a couple of receivers, but he threw two very
picks
very
is
bad.
like what killed him.
Instead of just throwing the ball away, I feel like he got caught trying to make a play that was not there, and just made a play for the other team.
Yeah.
And like Jones' decision making is time and time again showing that it's not the best. And I feel like Giants 1-7 these last couple of games. He better show some type of progress in that, because there's definitely QB available to be drafted, and he's not showing any strides.
I'm saying.
Because the Giants defense definitely played well. Like, they played well, they played hard, they played well. But it's just, if the offense sort of did its job, the Giants probably wouldn't have been in the predicament they had to go for a 2-point conversion to Deion Lewis. And then on that play, the 2-point conversion to Deion Lewis, I do feel like there should have been a call on that play. But if Daniel Jones makes the pass much faster or quicker release, you get the 2 points. We had overtime. If we lose in overtime, it is what it is.
Right.
Or we lose on that play, and it's on Daniel Jones. 60% Daniel Jones, 40%. I feel like the flag should be called. But also with that, I know if the roles are reversed, maybe that call gets called, right, Ed? If the roles were reversed and somebody else.
Roles were, of course.
But also, I also took the take like, shit, the Giants suck anyway. Why they going to try to bail us out with a call, even though it was, to me, pass interference. Why would they bail out a whack team like that? Like, fuck it, they suck anyway.
Yeah, why they gonna give you a W against the Bucks when y'all ass anyway?
If they had Daniel Jones on their fantasy team, again, hack argument. Yeah.
Yeah, Daniel Jones. I said, the rest probably like, fuck it. Y'all really trying to ref overtime? Nah.
Right. Word.
Anyway, fuck it.
It's over.
Yeah. And that's a different story. So
now this week was.
I'm just saying. I feel like at that it should have been a call, but they probably looked at it like Giants suck. They didn't deserve that call.
Right. And it ain't, again, like you said, is it worth going to overtime?
A team with in a better situation, better winning team, most likely gets that call more than Daniel Jones. Tom Brady most definitely gets that call if he's the one throwing the ball. But, it is what it is. I accept the L, but it's just another thing to add to this terrible Giants season. But the defense has been playing well all year, so that's the one surprise. That's the one thing coming into the season I felt wasn't going to be good at all. I felt like the offense would be better, and it's just reversed. The defense is playing much better than what I expected, and the offense is playing much less than I expected. So
and that's the part that sucks, right? So it's like, at least like this year, like I've obviously already given up. It's much, much easier to sit there and go, yeah, you know what, we suck, let's tank, 0-16, get Gase out of here, get whatever coach we want in here. But I've always felt this way about you Giant fans. Like 07 and 11 really changed you guys, like your demeanor and your persona and in the way you root for the team. Obviously winning those 2 Super Bowls. But it's like when I trust me, if there's anyone that knows bad football teams, it's me. I've been dealing with it for a really long time. And I've been watching it forever. So it sucks, like on your end, like at least like for me, it's easy because I know they're bad. This is historically the worst team I've ever watched ever in my 30 years on this earth of watching the New York Jets play football. This is the worst, hands down, the worst team that I've ever seen. But the Giants keep giving you these games where like they're in games and but like it's still equating to losses, and they've been doing this for the last like 7 years, and you guys keep just like riding this merry-go-round. Or you're just like, maybe there's an opportunity that we can go, and then you just get brought back down, and that sucks. I feel really, really bad.
No, because again, you look at it, you got the Jets when they bad, they come out, they play bad, you like, okay,
Yeah,
duh. Like,
it
but
is what it
Giants,
is.
they show potential, but it don't equate to nothing. So it's like you are more heartbroken knowing like, okay, they have potential. If they would just do this and they never put it together, that shit hurts a whole lot more than knowing the team is just ass. They come out and play ass. The product is there. Like, yes, they are ass. We can see it. Giants be like, have a few pieces where it's like, oh, he's good. Boom's good. Boom, if we could put it together, then maybe you get 1 or 2, get 4 to 5 games where they put it together, and then it's like, damn, why they can't consistently do this, knowing that they just came from winning Super Bowls and shit like this. Is like, I know it sucks to be a Giants fan.
It's just get consistent.
Yeah, it's not easy.
The Steelers game, we playing them good. Daniel Jones throws, instead of throwing away, just throws it up to whoever. Pick in the red zone. In the game, we could have went up. It had 17 to 3. We was up 10-3 at the point on the Steelers in week 1. You know, they were stopping Saquon. We could have been up. 17-3 or at least 13-3. Nope. Daniel Jones chucks it up.
So, John, you kind of alluded to it though a little bit when you were saying like, hey, listen, like, you know, if Daniel, because obviously like defense, there are spots where they look good. You know, that offensive line is pretty bad. So I guess that's where you can kind of give Daniel Jones a little bit of slack here. Sterling Shepard has not turned into the player that you want him to be. Obviously, with the trading of Aldell, your wide receiver core is not great, but again, still serviceable. And obviously, with the injury to Saquon Barkley, there is no real running game. Daniel Jones being the leading rusher on the team.
Right.
But I mean, the main consistent thing that comes up with this New York Giants team is that Daniel Jones just likes giving the other team the football. So again, you did allude to this, and you know, I'll say my piece about the Jets if Dev wants me to. I think we could wait until we go 0-16 and we actually have the number 1 pick for me to tell you what I think we should do. But John, do you think if you guys are sitting there with the number 2, number 3, number 4 overall pick, and Justin Fields, that's his name, Justin Fields?
Yeah.
If he's sitting there, John, you take him?
At this point, the only QB I will want to replace Daniel Jones is Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, well, he's not going to be there. But the question was,
you never know. Just win 2 games. Guys lose rest out. We good. That's the most best thing to do, right?
I mean, if you end up with the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th overall pick, and it's just Justin Fields.
Right. Trevor Lawrence is off the. He's gone already.
Trevor Lawrence off the board.
Yeah.
At this point, I'll say I'm 50-50 at this. I'm going to say 55-45. I'm still leaning more towards Daniel Jones. I don't want to give up on him yet. I'm 55-45.
Feel the same way.
I have to see as the season plays. Did you see that stat? In his first 20 games, he has as much turnovers as Ryan Leaf.
Yikes.
Or more. It might be more.
Not the kind of company you want to be in.
Yeah. That's the last person you want to be.
That's not the kind of company you want to be in.
But again, this was week 8, and this was also the trade deadline. Eddie, any winners or losers when it comes to week 8 trade deadline that you saw?
No, the trade deadline was a snoozer. I actually, you know, there was. I know I kind of like hinted to it, and I've been talking about it for a while now too, because you know the NFL has been pretty good about trying to keep things interesting. You know, like come towards the trade deadline, like you know, we saw Amari Cooper get dealt. We saw Khalil Mack get dealt last year. Obviously, the Raiders were doing something a little bit different there. Nothing too much of no. Kenny Stills was. I'm sorry, not Kenny Stills. Kenny Stills was actually being considered to go to the Packers. There was talks about Julio Jones moving. There was talks about
no blockbusters though. It was really
none of that big stuff. Apparently,
but it didn't work out.
Yeah, apparently the Patriots were open to Stephon Gilmore, but they wanted like 2 first-round picks for the guy, which I thought was a little much. Again, and then obviously, you know, elephant in the room, Jets trade. Who we trade? Avery Williamson to the Steelers. So the guy went to sleep 0-7, and then woke up and he was 0-8. So good for him. Again, good on Joe Douglas. You know, like get this good player relationships going. Like let these dudes know, hey, listen, like you're a good guy, you're a good player. You don't deserve to play on this garbage team. I'm going to give Adam Gase everything he wants by distancing myself and separating myself from him. I'm going to hook you up. I'm going to send you to an undefeated team, even though you plan on a defeated team. Here you go. Like, tell your friends that I took care of you. Obviously, we did the same thing for Jamal. Jamal wanted to get out. Okay, buddy. We'll let you go to a contender, man. Like, it's all good, dog. I just want some picks in return. So I think we also traded like a 7th-round pick. We didn't get much for Avery Williamson, but he's not that great. 49ers traded Quan Alexander to the Saints. Again, obviously, looks like the 49ers with all their injuries.
Yeah, that team fell apart this year, man.
Yeah, and, it's not their fault. It looks like we're going to lose Greg Kittle and Jimmy Garoppolo for probably the next, probably the rest of the year, to be honest.
For Garoppolo.
At this point, they should just shut it down. They're still a good team. They still have good pieces around them. They didn't really lose too much defensively last year. I don't think you're going to get what's this dude? Richard Sherman back next year. Who cares? It doesn't matter. You're going to get Joey Bosa back. You'll be okay. Or Nicky Bosa. So again, defensively, you'll be okay. You hope you get your running backs back. Go ahead, John.
Quick question. You think since coming to the 49ers, he had health issues, you think 49ers plan to move on from Jimmy G?
The guy, again, everyone talks about that playoff run where he pretty much did nothing. Because, the Kyle Shanahan offense loves to run the football. You look at Washington's best rushing years, the RG3 years is when Shanahan was there, when, you had a mobile quarterback that can also run the football, and you had some pretty good running backs back there. That's been their mantra. Obviously, we talked about this last week, too. It doesn't matter who the 49ers put in their backfield. 9 times out of 10, they're going to get over 100 yards receiving, all-purpose yards between receiving and rushing, and a few touchdowns. But Jimmy did get them there. They did just come off of the Super Bowl. Again, the injuries is a concern. I think they paid him a lot of money. That's the only reason why I don't think they'll move on.
I don't think the money thing, and as well as when Jimmy's injuries are an issue, but it's not like he's injured and then he plays bad. Mm-hmm. He does enough. He's not an explosive player. He's not somebody that's gonna go up there and get you 400 yards and shit. Mm-hmm. But he will put up 230 and do the bunch of dunking and diving and shit that fucking Tom Brady is notorious for. Except he don't get as many yards as Brady and shit. Like
Jimmy's not gonna win you games. He's also not gonna lose you games. Right. He doesn't turn the ball over.
Yeah, he's a safe player. So especially with everything that's going on with the organization this year, I don't think they're going to do anything now. Coming to next year when you get everybody back and then you look at the team, and if they're losing and you start to see like, okay, defense is doing their thing, the offense is looking good, but Jimmy's not pushing the ball up, then okay, it's a possibility that they will move him. But right now with all the money that they paid him and him, again, being a safe quarterback, nothing, he don't do anything. He don't, like Eddie said, he don't win you the game. He ain't gonna go out there and put up 3+ and fucking 4 touchdowns on a regular. But he ain't throwing a bunch of picks or anything to lose the game. So I don't think they're gonna, especially and all the money they gave him, they're not gonna deal him. Like they gonna stick this shit out for a little bit. Unless he come next year and do some bullshit. Again, you right. But again, with Shanahan, he didn't already had RG3. He had fucking Ryan bum ass. He stuck with them bums. He ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah, look, what he did with Devonta Freeman and Devonta Freeman was like a nobody before Shanahan got his hands on him in Atlanta.
Another reason why I posed that question, I read an article, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, and it was talking about how the Buccaneers is Tom Brady's second choice. He actually wanted to go to
He wanted to go to San Fran. Yeah. That's where he's from.
They almost committed. They almost went. All right. They almost
we did that last year, and our Tom Brady is a witch.
But Brady ain't going nowhere. He ain't leaving Tampa.
No. That's what I'm saying.
Before he got there.
I posed the question of them getting rid of Jimmy G due to the fact that when Tom Brady was available, the 49ers did talk to him and almost brought him the ball, and they already had Jimmy G.
Right.
So now Tom Brady's off the table. Jimmy G's hurt again. Gonna miss more games. He's missed a lot of games since he's been the quarterback for the 49ers. That's why I posed it. Like,
but again, okay, but that's Tom Brady. Who of that caliber would be able to say for the Niners to be like, okay, boom, put him in there over Jimmy G. It ain't that many people. It ain't that many. There's really not a lot of good quarterbacks in the NFL.
He was healthy most of last season though.
And they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so
Lost, but they went to the Super Bowl.
If we really think about it, it's just like,
and that's what I'm saying. He ain't gonna do nothing. He's not gonna do nothing crazy. But he will do enough.
You know how crazy them Niners defense is.
When they're fully healthy, that defense is.
Yeah, if you have a steady quarterback and a top like 3 defense, that's like that team wins like most of the Super Bowls most half of the time.
Yeah. We talk about Peyton Manning's last Super Bowl win, and that's what we hang our head on. Go ahead, Joe.
So, hey, wait, quick question, guys. This is all hypothetical. You want to trade Sam Darnold for 2 first-round draft picks to the 49ers, and they offered that?
2 first-round draft picks? 2?
Yes.
In the 2021, if they had 2 draft picks to give up. No, I don't want a 2021 and a 2022. I want a 2021 and a 2021.
That's how I pose it. It was
and I don't want to say Brandon Ayukin, but you got to trade me one of those wide receivers. Yep, all day. Mm-hmm. If we end up with the number 1, that means we get. I think Darnold. I hope he stays. And again, we'll talk about this when the NFL is over and I can reevaluate my life as a Jet fan. If you mean to tell me we end up with the first overall pick, we already have Seattle's first overall pick too. That's another accumulation of a pick. And then the Niners are going to trade us 2 other picks and then a player. Yeah, I mean, this is like shades like the 05 Jets draft when we got Anthony Becht and Chad Pennington in that year and Lavernius Foles in that year. I mean, that was a great year for us. And obviously it turned into playoff wins. Didn't turn into a Super Bowl. But, you know, it is what it is. I did want to cover a couple more games, though, before we move on, Dev. I feel like
go ahead.
We spent a little bit too much time on the Niners and Jimmy G, more than I kind of wanted to. But, you know, I got love for the Niners. Dev got love for the Niners. Yeah. I have every reason to. I can give a fuck if the 49ers ever won or not. It's just, it makes my girl happy, so it makes me happy. Happy wife, happy life. That's what they say.
Listen, Niners fan?
Yeah. Always has been. Yeah, big time.
Yeah,
big time. But I had 2 games. So Bengals beat the Titans 31-20, and the Dolphins beat the Rams 28-17. So I just want to get the Dolphins elephant out of the room. Obviously, Tua's starting his first game.
But he didn't
do anything. He threw a 4-yard touchdown. But, you know, obviously wearing the Simone gear, that was cool.
Did the job.
Exactly. Special teams did the job. There was a big fumble recovery for a touchdown. Not going to happen again. Dolphin fans are super happy, but don't get too excited. Don't get too excited. Hey, listen, and to not be a hater, you know, Tua played a game and he didn't get hurt, so good for you, buddy. And then fucking Joe Burrow. I mean, yes, you know, like it's you know, now you got Tennessee's like on that like identity crisis. Now they were undefeated until they lost, and now they lost 2 in a row. So we'll see what really happens with them. There was plenty of opportunities for them to win that game. I think they just fell behind a little too far. And then there was one other game I wanted to talk about.
Now, hold on, before you move on, I really get upset with myself because I be rooting for the Bengals and I be rooting for Burrow, and whenever I go against them, it's like
they win.
They put it together. When I'm rooting for them and I pick them, they continue to lose. I'm tired of this shit. They do this shit. And the fucking Vikings. Oh,
yeah, and the Vikings. Yeah,
that game was crazy.
I mean, Dalvin Cook had, 4 touchdowns? That's not going to happen again.
Yo, this nigga had like
48 points.
Like,
Jeff beat me because of him. Oh.
Yo. Yeah. And I went against my guys, never go against them ever, and then I go against them and they fucking cook. That shit pissed me off. Continue.
The last game I want to talk about, Broncos-Chargers. So Broncos are back. They're all the way back. I've been saying this. They were my sleeper team at the beginning of the year.
These are your two guys. These are
Yeah, I
young
love Herbert and I love Drew Lock. But
these are two guys you be rooting for.
I was watching the end of that game. So while we were in Massachusetts, we were at this bar right near the TD Garden. And they just you talk about Buffalo Wild Wings, fuck Buffalo Wild Wings. I mean, this place had TVs. So I'm watching the last bit of games, the afternoon games there. And I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, oh, okay, Chargers got this locked up. This is good to go. I picked them in the pool. So I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, I'm feeling good about this week. I beat Kevin, so undefeated no more. You guys saw that on our Instagram story. I also won in my other 2 leagues, so I'm just feeling good about myself. I think I'm gonna win some money now. I won 3 fantasy games in a row. I'm like, this is gonna be great. And I was like, oh, and let's see my boy Justin Herbert get another win. And because again, I think I hinted that they were gonna go on a little like run here where they were gonna win the next 3 or 4 games. And then fucking Drew Lock, out of fucking nowhere, decides. So I looked up a stat. The Chargers have lost 47 games, and again, I think this is since 2015. They lost 47 games by one possession lead. So they lost by one. So whether it was a field goal or a touchdown, they lost either by 3 points or by 7 points. And I just feel bad for the Chargers. It doesn't matter who's the quarterback. It doesn't matter what city they're in. They'll always be the Chargers. They'll always lose by one possession at the end of the game in the fourth quarter, and I just feel bad for them.
But again, LA is trying to complete a trifecta this year. So don't count them out because you got the Lakers, you got the Dodgers. It's going to be either the Rams or the Chargers.
They're not going there.
And bring that Super Bowl home this year.
None of those teams make the Super Bowl.
They're trying to create the LA Holy Trinity.
That ain't happening.
So
it's not going to be a hat trick.
Don't count them out.
The hat trick is not happening.
But one thing I got to say before we leave football, I'm not rooting for the Lions again, Justin. I went for them, those motherfuckers.
I'm not going to lie. That was a bad
And they got cooked against my better judgment because I knew the coach had the better defense. And this was my marquee miss game, offense versus defense. And that defense –
again, could have stayed a miss. They lost by 20.
41, right, exactly. Right, miss me with that shit. I should have missed that motherfucker because that shit was definitely worth missing. But that's the NFL recap. Before we move on from in case you missed it, any honorable mentions, I do want to say congratulations to Javonte cooking, kicking ass.
That was a nasty knockout.
Nasty knockout.
Also, honorable mention, Silva in his last fight got beat up. TKO, or not.
I mean,
but that's supposed to be his last fight.
It was so sad watching that. This is what I hate about UFC. A lot of my favorite fighters fight, and in boxing they do it too.
They pass the
beyond their prime.
That's the prime fight, and then they get beat up.
And then they get embarrassed, and because of shit like that. This is the issue I had with BJ Penn, where we was talking when I brought him up, and you look at all the L's he took, because when he was cooking, but fight beyond your prime and you get beat up, and then those of us who was in there watching UFC when it was UFC, when it was in its like prime, we got to see Anderson Silva be Anderson Silva.
But isn't that like on the fighters to know their limits, bro? Like that's on the fighters.
Yes, no, but that's why. Yeah, right. That's what I'm mad at. That's what I'm saying. The heartache of fighters, my favorite fighters, fighting beyond their prime. Like go out on top. They like it be killing me. And so to see Anderson Silva get knocked out and then see them crying and praying together, that shit like broke my heart.
I think once Silva broke his leg off that rematch, I think that was it. It was over.
That shit.
Leg snap. I think that it was over. Also honorable mention on this day, 24 years ago, the Black Mamba made his NBA debut. On this day, 24 years.
Also, former NFL player Greg Hardy had a fight too. And he won his fight. He in the UFC.
I think he's been killing it in the mixed martial art.
Yeah, and it's perfect.
Like in the actual UFC, or he's like
he's in the UFC.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
been there. He was on Bellator for a little bit.
Right. But he's in the UFC, and again, it's a perfect place for him. He a violent motherfucker, so perfect
He's
transition.
big as shit.
Perfect transition.
Also, one last honorable mention since we're in November. It's the third, right? 25 more days till Tyson and Roy Jones.
Okay. Okay.
No.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun.
Getting knocked out.
I had Bubba Wallace's Jordan car was revealed. Def on that clip. It looks nice.
I'm gonna put it in.
Very
Also,
nice.
Deontay Wilder was saying Tyson Fury is ducking him. Also, he said that. Also, he's making claims that Fury had loaded gloves.
Watch when Tyson Fury knock his ass out one more time. I'm just sorry. I'm just sorry. Deontay Wilder is good with the haymakers, but when it comes to tactical fighting, Deontay Wilder ain't it, bro.
Well,
He only got haymakers. He got haymakers. He will knock you out, but when it comes to boxing, bro, like the art of boxing, he don't have it. He don't have it.
Wilder is saying that in this contract they have a rematch negotiated, and they're trying to plan it, but Fury and his team have not been cooperating, and he has proof that Fury had loaded gloves in their last fight. So we'll see. We'll see.
Everybody trying to give Deontay. I don't give Deontay Wilder that pass, bro.
It's an accusation till concrete evidence comes out. So if he has proof, let him put it out.
All right. Also, I got one last honorable mention. Dan Tony becomes an assistant coach for the Nets. Now we know
Dream team now.
Steve
Nash. Is it going to be that 07 that Suns?
It's the Suns team. Yeah, all over again. Amari's over there now.
So Steve Nash hired his former coach from his heyday back in Phoenix to assist with coaching. I don't. Just hearing that like upsetting me because it's like
that shit ain't gonna work.
Like that is not gonna work. That Tony's play style is not gonna work with me, but we'll see. But
Amari is the player development assistant as well. So
are you for real?
I'm dead serious. I didn't make that up. Amari is there as the.
Oh yeah, they brought Amari. Yeah. Amari's part of the coaching staff. Yeah.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not. Mad
Amari's there, and so is Jordan. Oh, he's the assistant player development coach.
Amari move was before D'Antoni.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're building the Suns team all over again.
I'm not mad at that because last year or two I saw Amari in the Big Three and he was busting their ass. So
that's the Big Three though. That's the Big Three. I'm just saying. Amari still got moves, so he can get out there with them young boys, get them a few moves, teach them how to, I guess so. Yeah,
teach them about his moves.
As a coach, Amari he's still relatively young to still get on the court.
Right. And that's what I'm saying, right? Actually, to get out there with them, not just sitting on the side, but actually running with them. So.
Yeah, I agree. Y'all right. I was wrong. Y'all right on that point.
All right, but that's in case you missed it. We're gonna get into bag it or trash it. All right. Now, first up, we all know AB is now with the Tampa Bay Bucks. He'll be playing this week, correct?
He's eligible week 9.
Yes.
But I don't know if he'll play. Like he's not okay, so he'll play, but I don't think he's gonna have like a lot of touches, a lot of downs. You know? It's a acclimation.
Speaking of AB, I seen that trade in our league. Just throwing that out there.
What happened?
I said, speaking of Antonio Brown, did y'all see the trade that went off in our fantasy league? It's like AB for like 2 players.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was
let it rock. It doesn't matter.
That was Kev, and it was a bad trade though.
That's a bad trade.
What trade was it? I didn't.
It was Kev and Steph.
Yeah, what was the trade? I didn't see.
Something else. I think it's a defense.
It doesn't matter. Kev lost.
We don't know what AB gonna be or what we're gonna see. I mean, they're going out potential. We let it rock. It ain't that deep. But okay, bag of the trash. Does AB make the Bucks Super Bowl locks? Meaning, because of AB, this team is complete.
They're gonna win.
And they're ready. Super Bowl. They're gonna make it. Super Bowl locks. Guaranteed. Drew, to you first.
Trash.
Trash it.
Trash that shit. Nah, it's not. Okay, I'm not being a hater. They can definitely make it, but against the field because you got teams in the NFC that can get in your way. You got the Seahawks. You got the fucking. Even though with the suspect defense, you still got the Seahawks in the mix. You got the Saints in the mix. You got the Packers. You got teams in the NFC that can definitely derail their chances of making it to the dance. Like obviously that they can definitely make it, but you pick the field, then I'm picking the field, then I'm picking the Bucks to make it. That's what I'm saying.
Eddie, bag of the trash. AB makes the Bucks Super Bowl locks.
So I mentioned this last week. Like I said, I think it was a Tiki and Tierney show where Bruce Arians at the beginning of the year when he was asked about AB and joining the team, he was like, absolutely not. And they were like, hey, like, do you think like they try to be journalists, like how we would, and they try to poke some holes on what he was saying, and he was very definitive. And he was like, no, absolutely not. It's not gonna. And now he's eating his words. Obviously, it's clear that Brady brought him in, and almost like a LeBron ship, where it's just like, hey, like, I'm rocking. And AB did want, like, he did say he wanted to play with Brady. Obviously, they had that cup of tea together in New England, and after the Sports Illustrated stuff came out, and after the massage, his physical trainer or whatever she is, massage therapist, whatever she was, after all that information came out, obviously the Patriots' hands were tied and had no choice but to let him go. But what ended up following after, to me, was an erratic person, right? Someone who, again, I don't know if we want to chalk this up to CTE. I don't know if we want to chalk this up to like bad mental health, but the guy went from throwing bags of dicks at police officers that were helping him because he was the one that called them, to then saying fuck the NFL, to now I want to be back on the NFL. So like for me to think that he's changed as a personality, again, like if what he was going through was a mental thing, obviously I want nothing, and I'm not trying to trash this guy. The idea is I'm going to trash the idea of them being Super Bowl locks because I just don't know how long AB is going to be on the team. And on top of that, it's like obviously you're starting to see the Brady and Gronk connection happen a little bit more. They just passed Randy and Steve Young for all-time connections, quarterback to receiver. On the all-time list, I believe they're number 2 now. So now they're going to be chasing Jerry. But obviously you see that connection forming up again. Mike Evans and Brady are starting to mesh already. Scotty Miller and Brady have been hooking up since the beginning. I just don't think there's enough touches to go around for AB.
Especially with Godwin coming back.
Yeah, and Godwin will be back. So it's like, I know this guy is a guy who demands attention and definitely demands the ball. So do I think that these personalities will mesh together? Again, like AB's currently in a good spot for what we know, maybe mentally. Nothing's come out yet. But, let a couple of frustrating games come through where AB gets no looks and, Godwin's eating all that whole time, or Mike Evans. And again, Mike Evans to me is not a diva, but for sure is a big personality. And Mike Evans don't play. So AB is the type of dude to chirp. And I don't know. I think Mike will fuck AB up. So, again, I just don't see it meshing too well. My biggest thing is I don't even understand why they brought him in. I understand that Brady wanted him there, but I just don't get why they brought him in. Again, these are things where it's like, well, you build like this dream team that looks great on paper, but then, when it all comes together, these personalities and these egos don't match. So for that reason, I have to trash it.
All right, John, bag of the trash it.
There it goes.
Of course, I'm bagging it.
I am.
John, you're drooling.
Not an easy one. I'm gonna bag it. It's not easy. I was gonna trash it at first. I was really gonna trash it. But I look at it this way. I already got the Buccaneers going to the Super Bowl out the NFC, and they just added another weapon. when AB's on top of his shit, he's what, top 5, top 3, maybe top 2 receiver in the game if he's on his shit. And you add that with the GOAT, magic happens. So I'm gonna bag it for that reason. And if AB happens to fail, doesn't still change my standpoint on the Buccaneers going to the Super Bowl with or without him. So I already have them going there, and that's just another weapon to add to them going. So I think it boosts his chances. I won't say I already have him. I would say I have him as lock, but adding him boosts the chances of them going. So I'll bag it for that reason.
Yeah, I'm gonna trash it. Only lock in football to me, and Steelers are gonna challenge that is the Chiefs. Everybody else, we'll see how it go. Although I do have Tampa as the lead for NFC, but I think AB and being away from the game, dealing with all the shit that he's been dealing with, and again, like Ed said, other than Tom Brady, that is Mike Evans' team. And Mike Evans is not for the bullshit. And he's already said he's not with the shit. So you have, if AB comes and play and, got his outside shit together and got his mind right, then yes, it'll make for like they're super deep. But I don't think that's going to make them a definite lock in the NFC. Football is too just unpredictable to say a player is going to make a team that massive a lot. So I'm trashing on that regard. All right, next up. I'm gonna put the football questions together. So
Okay.
Moving a little bit around now. Bar Scott was talking about the Patriots, how the organization, how bad it's looking, how bad Belichick is looking, and he believes Belichick has on too many hats. He needs to be a coach and a coach only, and not a GM. So, bag of the trash should go to you first, John. Should Belichick be fired as the Pats GM?
No.
So
no. I'm gonna trash it, right?
All right.
I trash it means don't
Right.
bagging me down.
Right. So you trash it.
Come on, see this is what happens when people overreact. People forget before the season started, 11 players or more on that defense said they're not playing.
Right.
Yeah.
They said they wasn't playing. So, they have to replace all those players, and a couple of them was key guys for them on defense.
Yeah, a lot of their captains left. Chunk said.
So, obviously, they're going to struggle on the defensive end. That's something that was their strong point. And then on offense, they don't really have that many weapons. And Cam has been playing their best, but Cam caught the Rona, and I set him back a couple of weeks.
He's got Corona brain.
And that's the product what the Patriots have now. Is just, unforeseen circumstances that put them in this predicament. I want to say, because Belichick usually hits and misses. He hits more than he misses when he gets defensive players, and he sends them out like, oh, they about to ask for a big contract. You did what you had to do for us. Time to move you, get these picks and stuff.
Thank you for your time, and then move on.
Yeah, he usually hits on those. I'm not saying he hits every time, but he usually does. But I just feel like he's still a good GM. It's just a lot of unforeseen stuff is the reason why the team is where it's at right now.
Right. All right, Ed, back in the trash.
I mean, this guy's. I mean, Belichick took over the GM role when he got there, right, John?
I believe so.
Okay, 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah. I can't.
I mean, I've seen too many players not work out on the Jets, on the Bills, on the Dolphins. Danny Woodhead's a guy I look at. He's like the main guy that he's known for. But you see all these guys that don't work out on all these other teams and end up in a Bill Belichick offense or in a Bill Belichick team. A Bill Belichick run team, and again, he's the guy that signs them. He's the guy that gets them to buy into his system, and he also brings them into his system. Obviously, he sees things that other guys don't. Now, do I think he might need an assistant at some point? So maybe he could just focus on coaching and coaching only and not have to worry about it. He's got his own scouting team and everything too. But, should he get an assistant GM or maybe himself hire a GM that he pretty much oversees. But at the end of the day, everyone knows that what Bill says goes. But to Johnny's point, I mean, they had 11 players opt out of the defense. They lost Tom Brady. Again, I don't want to give Brady too much credit, but he's in a good spot right now, and the Patriots aren't. And again, John also mentioned Cam's COVID brain. Is he still foggy? I don't know. I mean, Cam doesn't look good right now. So I don't think you can put that all on Belichick, because when he signed Cam Newton, everyone said Bill Belichick was a genius. And now that Cam's not doing too well right now, they're like, oh, well, now he looks stupid and he should get out of here. And Bart Scott, I love you. I love your time that you did with the Jets, but that dude be saying some wild stuff. It's great. I love it. I'm all for it. But I don't even know if he knows what he's talking about sometimes.
Good TV.
I get it. I know he wants to just be like the guy with the, wild takes. He wants to be the Skip Bayless, the Colin Cowherd dude, but Jesus Christ, man.
All right, Drew, bag of the trash.
I completely agree with my two co-hosts right here. I'm going to trash the idea of he should be fired as a GM, because this is basically a knee-jerk reaction on this whole season as a whole. And this whole season as a whole is really not on – it can't be placed on Bill Belichick alone. COVID had a major part to why this season is going left. Right. And we've seen it's been a track record of Bill Belichick doing a good job up until this specific point.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah. Again, I'm trashing too. The year is definitely different. We want to put asterisks next to teams that win. Then we need to put asterisks next to teams that's losing as well, because again, COVID has affected a lot. And again, when it comes to Belichick, what do you put it up against? Okay, you have one bad season compared to 6 Super Bowls. Creating these great players, great defenses. He got too much on his resume to say this one season is the saying of him. He needs to be fired as a GM. I just don't see it.
They won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady missing 4 games.
Yeah.
They had Jimmy Garoppolo outperform, get hurt, and then Jacoby Brissett step up and win them a game. I think they went 3-1 in that time too. Yeah. And obviously Jacoby, turns into nobody, gets replaced by Phil Rivers in Indianapolis. And Jimmy G, we talked about him earlier, but I hate it. I've been dealing with it for a little over a decade, and it's not fun, but you got to give respect where respect's due,
Exactly, and he definitely deserved the respect. Next up on Bag of the Trash, and now we spoke about him earlier. As we know, Trevor Lawrence is currently dealing with COVID, but he is the big ticket when it comes to this upcoming NFL draft. Now, based on the way the season is going, and if it continues to trend this way, Jets will have the number 1 pick. Now, this is all hypothetical. Jets get the number 1 pick. They select Trevor Lawrence. A few years ago, remember when a guy well, John, he was picked by a team. What was the Chargers, right? The Chargers tried to get him.
Mm-hmm.
Chargers tried to get him.
They did get him. They drafted him.
Right. Chargers drafted him. Eli said, "I ain't playing for you, motherfuckers, y'all."
No, chill out. Archie said, "There's no way in hell."
Right.
My son, and then Peyton said, "Give me the phone, Dad." Hey, I was gonna convince Eli to stay. I didn't think y'all were gonna do it. And also, the Jets should hire Adam Gase. That's what he said back then.
Archie said, "Y'all basuda, and y'all ain't, my son ain't playing there." So look at that. So we're gonna use that. Bag of the trash. John.
Mm-hmm.
No, Eddie, you first.
Okay.
Bag of the trash. If Jets select Trevor Lawrence, should Trevor Lawrence pull an Eli Manning, bag it or trash
it? It would depend on where, because this is all hypothetical, it would depend on where else he would want to go. What are we going to get? Because, again, at the end of the day, it all depends on if we decide to, he could not sign his contract. That'd be cool. But it's like, yeah, good luck sitting out the whole year. Like, for all that, just stay in college. Do what Peyton did, not what Eli did. And like I said earlier, his draft value is not going to be any higher than it is today. Like, again, the guy can literally not touch a football field for the rest of the year, and he will be, again, hypothetically, will be the number 1 overall pick. Do I think he pouts? And, no, I think at the end of the day, these guys, it's a different era now. I mean, these guys just want to compete. You think Joe Burrow was happy when he got drafted by the Bengals?
Yeah,
no, but, I mean, now the guy's got 2 wins under his belt. He feels pretty good about it. And, he's got, again, if he can see that the organization is going to do things around him, he's going to have a guy like Denzel Mims there finally on the field. So you got a young wide receiver there, and if you can get some weapons, I mean, look, like I said, let's go look at Joe Burrow. You got Joe Mixon, who's probably going to be there for the next 5 years. You got T. Higgins, which the Bengals also just drafted, and Tyler Boyd, who's been cooking. I know AJ Green's out here. He's pretty much like at the tail end.
He's on the decline.
Yeah, he's on a decline. He's at the tail end of his career. I don't know if he gets traded or not. I mean, obviously, he didn't get traded this year, but who knows what his future is. But if I'm Joe Burrow, I'm looking at those 3 guys around me that are going to be playing with me for a really long time. So again, it's like, as long as the relationship's okay, and Joe Douglas lets them know. And again, there is going to be a new coach. Look, if Adam Gase remains the coach of the New York Jets at the start of the 2021 season during the draft, I'm Trevor Lawrence. I'm staying in college. I'm Trevor Lawrence. Get me out of there. I don't want no part of Adam Gase. But as far as like doing all that, again, it depends on where he goes. The Chargers were nice enough to be like, well, the Giants drafted Phillip Rivers, so we'll take Phillip Rivers instead. And so, again, there's not going to be, unless we trade out with Justin Fields, I don't think that'll happen. I mean, that barely ever happens.
All right, John, back of the trash. Should Trevor Lawrence pull a Eli Manning if he get drafted by the Jets?
Nah, I'm a trash it. I don't think he
better.
should do that. I feel like if he gets drafted there, that's his destination, and that's where he should try to at least excel at. Obviously, we all know the Jets shitty, organization shitty at the moment, but they get drafted, take on that challenge, because if he succeeds, that's only gonna make his shit rise to crazy lengths. If succeeding in plus, even though it's the Jets, it's still New York.
Yeah. All right, Drew, bag of the trash. Should Trevor Lawrence pull an Eli Manning?
I'm gonna trash that. He shouldn't do it. Like, he should go in there. Like, if you get, I mean, like, that's where every ain't that where every like number 1 pick you get drafted to a shitty team. You go into a shitty team no matter what. Like, this is just the nature of being the number 1 pick. You just gonna have to deal with it. Like, you just go in. If you're supposed to be that quarterback, you're supposed to be that guy. Like, go ahead and change it, bro. Like, this is your time to like prove that you're worth the number 1 pick by turning the fortunes of this moribund franchise you got drafted to, like, either go to show out or you just gonna be like, yo, that's it. It is the way it is, man.
Right. And again, I'm a trash it. I always thought that Eli situation was some whole ass shit to begin with, but it worked out for him. I think
it worked out for both. It worked out for both. Phil Rivers had a great.
Phil Rivers ended up on the team that ended up dumping him after fucking 10 years when Eli retired. Eli gets 2 Super Bowls, and Phil Rivers ends up on the team that only loses games in the fourth quarter by less than 1 possession drive.
Well,
it worked out for both of them. Phil Rivers is gonna have a Hall of Fame career. Don't get me wrong. He'll wear a gold jacket eventually, but I mean, poor guy, dude.
You just want to have
I wouldn't say poor guy. Come on now, they
poor guy,
won
man.
a lot of games. Them Chargers, especially that early mid 2000s, was
and came out with no rings.
And again,
John, I'm just saying. I feel like if Phil Rivers, but if Phil Rivers was on the Giants, I think you guys would end up with 3 or 4 Super Bowls, not 2.
You know why I say no? Know why I say no?
Hot take.
Know why I say no?
I mean,
He don't got that clutches that Eli got. He can have them better seasons and everything when it comes down to it.
And that's what
doesn't got that.
That's where I agree with John. Giants might have had better regular season games, but when it comes to them playoffs, Rivers gonna still beat him, and his ass gonna choking on him. Choke. Eli a bum, but in the clutch, he step up. So
playoff Eli.
No, imagine Eli had Daniel Thompson just hand off to him start.
He didn't have to. He had Tiki Barber. And what's the Brandon Jacobs?
Oh no, Brandon, those no. We had some good running backs, but we're talking about all-time.
And y'all had better receivers. I mean, Phil Rivers only had Antonio Gates.
But that's one of the greats.
He was nice.
That's one of the greats, though.
Yeah, and Eli had Plaxico, Shockey, bum ass.
None of them niggas will be remembered. I'm sorry.
Shockey playing the Super Bowl game. He was injured.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was out. Yeah, never mind.
None of them niggas will. Amari Toomer. None of them niggas will be remembered. I'm sorry.
David Tyree. David Tyree will always be remembered.
Only nigga that's gonna be remembered is the nigga with the big hands who did the head. That's the only nigga.
David Tyree.
Yeah. No. Let's give credit where it's due.
Cheddar Bob Burris.
Who you say?
Cheddar Bob Burris.
We'll remember Victor Cruz mainly because of the dance. That's what we remember.
We won a Super Bowl with him when he was cooking.
Yeah,
he was cooking.
That's true.
Super Bowl, so.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying, compared to I'm on your side. Compared to, I think Rivers had the better pieces to me.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Offensively, yeah. Offensively. Didn't score like 28 touchdowns?
Yeah, 1 year. Yeah, that's right. That he broke the record.
Come on.
Yeah.
All right, but last up on Bag of the Trash now. Again, we just talked about the Nets. D'Antoni's over there. Steve Nash is there. Nets on paper look like a great team, and we see this a lot of times. We saw it with the Clippers. On paper, they look like fucking monsters. So on paper, the Nets is nasty. We all know this, and if they're healthy, it should make for a good NBA season. So Bag of the Trash, Drew, to you first. Is a healthy Nets team NBA Finals locks? Bag of the Trash.
Trash. The Boston Celtics and Miami Heat are in their way.
All right. Just like that. Hey, Bag of the Trash.
I'm a trash it because I'm a hater. Yeah, fuck the Nets. I mean, like, on paper, they're probably one of the best teams. I'm going to eat these words, I think, because Kevin Durant is just
that
fucking nature. And I think KD is the difference maker. Kyrie, whatever. I mean, he's good. He's going to have his clutch moments. He's going to have his shots. But, injury is also a concern with Kyrie. But again, pending any wildness, and I'm sure they'll probably make a move in the trade deadline or during free agency. Who knows who they'll. Again, I mean, they're clearly trying to do something here in Brooklyn. Again, this is kind of the way I feel about with the Mets, like now officially, the owners of allowing Steve Cohen to officially own the Mets. If the Nets win a fucking playoff game or an NBA championship or a World Series before the Yankees or the Knicks do, I'm going to kill myself. Like I can't deal with that. Like they're clearly trying to bring a championship to New York, but to the wrong team, and that's not cool, man. I can't.
He's gonna run into the wall.
I can't allow it.
He joking, folks. All right, John. Bag of the Trash.
Am I?
Yes. Is a healthy Nets team NBA Finals lock?
For this and for your question, healthy, I'm gonna bag it.
Right.
Because I don't know what all-season moves is gonna take place and everything. So, but for this instance, we're talking about as of right now because we don't know what's gonna happen in the future. But they're healthy. KD, Kyrie, I think is enough to get to the finals. Because KD's healthy. Like, come on now.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be for Boston and Miami. It ain't gonna be as easy to guard KD as it was to guard Giannis, because
Right.
KD go to that basket, but he'll shoot that shit from 30 feet with no problem. Just and it's like, hey, if you foul KD, he gonna nail the free throw. So it's like,
Right.
it's gonna be harder to guard KD. It's gonna be harder.
They said the same thing about Russ and Kevin Durant.
No, it's two different things. It's two different. It's two.
I mean, is Kyrie
One,
really?
Russ
really?
and Kevin Durant was in the West. Two, Kyrie's a much better shooter than Russ. Like, he's a way better shooter. So if KD's killing, like, Kyrie's more likely to hit a catch and, like, if he's standing in the corner, for instance, for a drive, KD could drive, kick it to Kyrie, and Kyrie's gonna hit the shot more times out of.
You know, I'm really talking about is like his attitude, like how Kyrie's attitude would be towards the team.
They match. They're the same. To me, Kyrie and KD is the same.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
the same brain.
based on this question, I will bag it because I don't think there's nobody in the East that can fuck with a healthy KD. There's nobody in the league that can really fuck with a healthy KD. And so you add that, you got Jared Allen, you got Kyrie, you got Karis LeVert, you got Joe Howard, I think.
Harris.
Right, Joe Harris. You got Dinwiddie. Like, that's a nasty team. And again, we're talking only on paper. We said the same shit about that. That's why I posed. We talked about the Clippers on paper. It looks great. With what I see from Boston.
The only difference is the Clippers, they was assembled. KD has been with the Brooklyn Nets for a year, so he may have played, but he built relationship with the players. So it's different in that aspect.
Also,
it's different from being on the bench building a team, but then getting on the court. It is a totally big difference.
But again, you absolutely right. But again, to be there with them, even with them not playing this season, to be able to mesh with the players. I'm sure he's out there playing with them now. And you add DeAndre Jordan, you got Jared Allen, you got two really good big mans down low, and you got scorers on the outside, and then you got fucking KD. And Kyrie, again, can show up when he needs to. So on paper, I don't think anybody in the East can beat them. But we'll see as the season goes.
But also, a quick example to what Drew just said. He said, KD was sitting on the bench, soaking it in, basically. Look at Blake Griffin. He missed his whole rookie year, sat on the bench. When it was time to play,
Lob City.
He started going crazy. He averaged, 22 and 12 rookie year? And that's just his first year. He sat on the whole bench. He was able to soak up the game, learn different things. So it's different when you have that approach than just coming in. When you're coming in fresh, you got to learn everything on the fly. Like, you learn certain things and certain stuff you learn on the fly. But when you sit there, you're hurt. You're learning everything you're already supposed to be learning, and you're probably picking up on new things as you're observing and watching. So, yeah, I feel that's the only reason why I feel like the situation is different for KD. And if KD is healthy, it's going to be a problem for the East.
All right.
They're going to need to assemble a super team out there. Probably.
Miami going to get Greek-free, but we'll see. And that's Bag of the Trash. We're going to get it to Marquee Misses. This is Drew.
We missed the analytics, no?
Yo. Before we move on. Bro, totally forgot it. Totally forgot it. I got it on my notes.
It wants to go off on this. That's why.
So, yeah, that's why I brought it up.
Fucking awful.
It was awful, bro. Like,
I don't have much to say about this, and I'll let y'all take it. But, again, as we know, Dodgers just won. Rays lost. Due to some unfortunate analytics, as Eddie will say. So, going to you first, Ed.
Mm-hmm.
Bag of the Trash. Did the analytics cost the Rays the World Series? Bag of the Trash.
In this instance, I'm gonna bag it. I get the whole idea of what got you there. Stick by it. Obviously, the Rays have been using analytics have been a thing since Billy Beane did it in Oakland. Got that big deal by the Red Sox, decided not to take it. And, now the Red Sox have adopted it, and there's teams all over the league that have adopted it since. But again, so the analytic rule is that the third time that your starter faces the top of the order, so the third time through the lineup, that you start seeing them progressively go bad, things get worse. So Blake Snell, obviously the ace for the Rays, was pulled out in the top of the the top of the fifth inning for no apparent reason. The guy was on it. He had 9 strikeouts. He only gave up 2 hits and 1 earned run. And then they pulled him once they got to the top of the order. Now, again, obviously there's a lot to go into play here where, had the Rays have won that game, they would have won a Game 7. Obviously, anything can happen in a Game 7. Maybe the analytics were right and, they were going to lose that game anyway. But the fact of the matter is that this is the World Series. This is Game 6. This is an elimination game for you. Your ace is on the mound and he's doing well. I know the manager tried to defend it too, but he said we, and then switched it up, and then was like, no, I decided to pull him out. So it's clear that it's just a bunch of nerds. And again, I think the idea of analytics is great. I mean, what these guys put into it is a lot of work. And again, it works sometimes, but we've seen the Red Sox win with analytics. We've seen them win World Series. But at the same time, there's got to be room for user error, right? And
it's not an exact science.
You shouldn't let a computer if I'm a manager and I'm sitting there and I'm watching Blake Snell do what he did, I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna let you tough this out. You're gonna be in a little bad spot here. You gave up a run. It's still tied 1-1. You still got a shot. Get yourself out of this. We'll see where you're at. But if I'm getting a call from the nerds in the office telling me, hey, you got to pull him out. It's the third time through the order. You're gonna lose this game. I'll be like, what are you talking about? He's on fire. He's like, I don't care. You do what we say. And that's the point where it's just is this ruining the game? Do we even need a manager? Or are we just gonna let computers and science run a game played by humans? And I don't like it. I think it was a bad call by the Rays. Again, we don't know what would have happened in the Game 7, but there could have been a chance that they could have won. Anything could happen in the Game 7.
Yeah. All right, Drew, bag of the trash. The analytics kill a game for the Rays.
I'm a bag it because you do not take a guy out because I saw the game. Blake Snell was on fire that game. I honestly I did not know when they took him out. I did not know why they took him out. But then when I think after the game, I was watching on ESPN is where they took him out in the leagues. I did not understand that shit at all. Because of a thing that is being projected to happen.
Right.
Analysts is projecting stuff. They project it to happen because they going through stuff that happens multiple times. A projection is not
it's an educated guess.
Yeah, you're just guessing, but at that moment you can see for yourself that this guy is cooking. Why are you going to do something totally out of nature just because? It was bad call. It was all around bad call. I'm definitely going back.
Blake was only had 75 total pitches at the point, and 43 of them were for strikes. I mean, so he was finding spots. And again, 9 strikeouts, that's not by accident.
All right, John, bag of the trash.
Well, bagging means it was a terrible decision. Bagging means the analytics is what caused the Rays.
That's what cost them the game.
Yeah.
Bagging. I don't know. I feel like a lot has changed in baseball since I started watching, and I feel like analytics is playing a lot into the changes, with the shift defenses and stuff like that. But just let him pitch, his pitch count wasn't that high. He was dealing, he was doing his thing. Just let him pitch.
Right. Man, I'm going to definitely bag it too and shit. Again, I didn't understand the shit when Eddie first posed the question. I had to go do my research and shit. I don't follow baseball that much, so I didn't know analytics and the nerds upstairs played that much of an effect in the game. But I feel like in games like that, especially times like that, you got to let the fucking players play. And let the people that know the game, not the science behind the game and know the data behind the game, the people that actually know the game, you see them out there, you have his manager come out there and talk to him. If he threw a few of them out bad pitches, how you feeling? You think you can do it? These bastards up here is telling me to pull you. What's up? How you feeling? And if he say, I'm good, we're gonna die by that. We're gonna live and die with that decision.
Also with that, he says I'm good. He pitches to the batter, and you see he do some crazy shit. It's like, oh no, he's not good. He's out of me. Then you go get him.
But then you again, you live and die with it. Not these fuckers upstairs saying pull him because 82% of the time, so and so this shit. No.
Yeah.
How you feeling? You good? Then you do some funny shit. Yeah, bro, we about to pull you. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
again, the devil's advocate side to that argument too, right? We all look back to the 2015 World Series where Matt Harvey was on, and Matt Harvey wanted to keep going, and they wanted to pull him, and Matt fought. And this is, the Mets were not using analytics, and Matt fought, and he said, "Fuck that, put me back out there." Obviously, it didn't work out for Matt Harvey. It hasn't worked out for him since. But again, it's baseball. That's sports, man. Like you can't, you need that. And again, in that moment, again, as not a Met fan who did not want to see the Mets win the World Series before the Yankees did. Again, obviously our last one was in 2009 at that point. But I was rooting for the Mets hard. When I saw Matt show that you could visibly see him tell his coach to go fuck himself. I'm going back out there. I was like, fuck yeah, Matt, let's go. Get back out there. And then when he went out there, I was like, oh, well, shit, that sucks. Again, but I'm sure Blake wanted to be there.
You live and die. Again, this is the nature of sports. Niggas got to eat it. If they want to play and they don't pull it together, they got to eat that shit. That's going to kill them. That's going to kill them more than anybody else. But that's bag of the trash. And now we're going to get into Marquee Miss. This is Drew's baby, of course, where we highlight some of our games to look out for as well as players to look out for. So kicking it off first, Drew, since this your baby, Marquee Miss Week 9. What's your Marquee Miss game?
This whole Week 9 is I honestly have 4 Marquee Misses that I can choose from.
Okay, so choose that one.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna choose one. I am going to choose the Dolphins versus the Cardinals because the 2 young quarterbacks is what I want to see, the battle between Kyler Murray and Tua. That is going to be an interesting battle to me. I really want to see how those 2 offenses go. And mainly if the defense of the Miami Dolphins can handle the offense of the Cardinals. That's what I want to see. That's going to be an interesting matchup to me.
All right, Ed, what's your Marquee Miss for Week 9?
So I have a question. Can my Marquee Miss be a marquee game that is a miss?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they missed it. They missed it bad.
Okay.
Bad.
Okay, I want to hear it. Let's hear it.
Okay, so in a game that maybe some people in the Northeast would keep their eyes on. Maybe dumb, young, bright-eyed Jet fans would have came in and said, oh, hey, maybe we're going to turn this around. And then Patriots fans, after signing Cam Newton, say, hey, man, we don't need Tom Brady. But Monday Night Football, Patriots-Jets, last week, I didn't miss on my Marquee Miss. I said, we're going to find out who the Saints and the Bears are. And guess what? We found out that they're the Saints and the Bears. They went into overtime. It was a field goal that won it. Good game still, but both teams clearly aren't good. So, yeah, the marquee that was missed was the fact that they missed the marquee on this. Why are the Patriots playing the Jets on Monday night? Should be an awful game. We will be recording the day after that. I will actually be here for that podcast. Plans got canceled. So I'm going to be pretty sad. I'm going to be pretty upset. So warning.
It's the rivalry game of the Jets and the Patriots.
Right.
That's the only thing that's
Guarantee you, we're gonna win that game on some bullshit. We'll win that game.
Yeah, I'm more than likely not going to watch that game.
Yeah, don't want to watch it.
Catch the highlights. But John, what's your marquee miss for Week 9?
My marquee miss is Falcons, Broncos.
Broncos. We simpatico, John. So is mine.
Broncos made a nice clutch win, but I want to see the Falcons after winning last week, if they're gonna make a playoff push. See if they can get that record over 500. Let's see.
And again, John is saying it all. Marquee miss, Broncos, Falcons. I be one to believe in the Falcons, and I just be one to see them be consistent. They a great team, I believe.
They're not that bad. They're really not that bad. I don't understand it.
So I just want to see them put it together. And it's a good game. So that's marquee miss for me too. Good shit, John. All right, we're gonna get into our marquee miss player. Drew, who's the player that slept on this week? Who you got?
I am going to choose Denzel Mims from the Jets.
Hey, Mimsy.
Yeah, the Jets. Yeah, Denzel Mims. I want to see how from this last week when they honestly forget the part where it was just cascading, where it was just death on from the Kansas City. But when it first started out, Denzel Mims was doing some stuff.
He's getting targets. He's getting targets. Yeah. He gets into the end zone this week for sure.
So I really want to see what they do against the Patriots.
You want to throw out some stats for him, because I've been pretty good.
I don't know about stats. I want to say it's I haven't thought about it. You can throw out stats if you want to, but I
89 yards, touchdown.
That's not bad. That's
not a bad game. Not a bad game for a Jets wide receiver. That's historic this season.
Not like Drew's last marquee miss with Robbie.
Former
Jet.
Yeah. Oh, Joe Douglas just came out and said that he apologizes for letting Robbie Anderson go. He wanted too much money, so don't apologize. I'm not apologizing.
All right, and who's your marquee miss?
Well, since I'm 2 for 2 these last 2 weeks.
Really good picks, man.
Justin Herbert doing everything I said he would do, and Brandon Ayuk doing everything he could have done. I think I might have said he was going to have a little over 90 yards, but I think he only had 80 yards. But I did say he was going to have a touchdown, and he did have that touchdown. So my pick this week, I mentioned him a little bit earlier in the podcast because I do love him, and they are back. My marquee miss is going to be Drew Lock this week. Lock him in as my lock. I'm going to say, how many yards did he have last week? I'm going to say a little over 200 yards. Definitely going to throw an interception because it is Drew Lock. He's definitely going to throw an interception. 3 touchdowns.
Good shit.
All purpose. One of them is going to be a Russian.
John, marquee miss player. Who you got?
My marquee miss is the Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
Who are they going against this week?
Cowboys.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, jeez.
That's crazy.
That's a marquee miss. That's going to be.
Lucci didn't hit last week, and he's this week.
And the Nucci.
I read Dalton's still not ready, and
Dalton's not playing.
Cooper Rush might be the Cowboys starter this Sunday.
Ben DiNucci's out?
Yes. He got hurt.
Damn.
He got cleared to start.
Ben DiNucci, not Gucci.
So who is a starter for the Cowboys?
John just said it.
QB's name is Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush.
Yo, tell Kellen Moore to drop the clipboard and just get back out there. Best Boise State quarterback out there, dog.
I think there's still some. There's a QB by the name of Colin that's still unemployed.
True, that too.
But not in Dallas.
NFL did so much shit.
Hey, listen, Dallas was blue today, so you never know.
Not with Jerry.
That's also true. Not with Jerry.
Yeah. But my marquee miss, who has I believe he stole Kenny Drake's job. Chase Edmonds,
Yeah, oh,
Arizona
yeah.
Cardinals.
Oh, yes.
pick.
That is my marquee miss. They got Miami this week. Dual purpose back, running and receiving, mainly receiving, but Kenny Drake got hurt, and he's took that job. He's running with it.
And he's been there. He's been there.
Yeah.
He was there with David Johnson too when there was
Right.
David Johnson in the field. So, and
yeah,
what's his name? Kenyon Drake kind of like pushed him out a little bit, and now he's
Right.
back up there. So good for him.
Yeah, he definitely got that job now, and he's on my team. So hoping he have a good week because I've lost 4 weeks in a row. Okay,
Someone's on a 4-game win streak. Just saying.
Whatever.
That is Marquee Miss for week 9. Episode 29 of the OSA. We just finished Marquee Miss. Now we're going into NFL Pick'ems week 9. This is the segment of the show. Now, first off, before we get into the picks.
The standings are awful.
Well, here's the standings for week 8. Bad week for them. I ain't mad at how I placed this week. I wasn't really upset with what my team did.
I was.
But here's the standing. Kevin and DQ are tied for first with 8-6. I'm in second, 7-7. Drew is up next, 6-8. Johnny and Ed is tied for last at 5-9. In regards to the overall standings, DQ, the non-football fan, continues to hold it down.
So crazy.
And in the top spot, 69-49. Coming in second, tied John and Drew creeping up, 66-52. After that, me standing pretty much in fourth, where I've been all season on all the standings, 65-53. Kev is up next, where he's been, 61-57, and Ed continue to keep his spot as well. And last, 55-63. Now, those are the picks for those are the standings for week 8. We're going to get into our picks for week 9. As always, I'm using the Pick'em app. We'll go around. I don't know where Drew went, but first game up.
I hear you.
Thursday night, we got we got the Packers versus the Niners. Johnny, who you got?
Packers.
Eddie.
I'm going to go with the Packers. Oh, wait, and real quick, time out. I've been doing it for the last couple of weeks. Packers are 2.5-point favorites. The over-under is 51. Give me the under, no Jimmy G, but Nick Mullins is pretty good, but also no Greg Kittle. So that's bad. And I think Raheem Mostert may or may not come back this week. Not sure, but either way, Halsley's a pretty good running back as well. But still, give me the under, and the Niners should cover.
Gotcha. Drew, who you got?
I got the Packers.
Clean sweep. We're gonna go with the Packers. Niners, injury-prone team. Even with Mostert possibly coming back, might as well call it the season. When they ain't gonna do much this year. So Packers. Up next, we got the Ravens versus the Colts. John, who you got?
Ravens.
Ed, who you got?
So the Colts are 4-point underdogs. I doubted them in the past. I've doubted them before. I'm going to stick to my Ravens are frauds. Ravens are not good against good teams. This is a good defense. Again, 4 turnovers just by Lamar Jackson last week against a really good defensive team in the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm going to take the Colts this week. And the over-under is, I lost it, son of a bitch, 44 points. Give me the over.
All right, Drew, who you got?
I got the Ravens.
All right, I too have the Colts. To me, probably the best.
The Ravens gave the Steelers a run for their money, even with the turnovers. So
yeah, I got the Colts. To me, neck and neck with Ravens. Neck and neck with Steelers in regards to the best defense in the league. I think they can pull it through. Lamar and them are still a little choke artists.
I feel the Colts are frauds.
So I'm going to go with the Colts. Next up, we got Panthers Chiefs all around.
Oh my God.
Chiefs.
What's the over and under?
I'm looking. Over under is 52 points, which is pretty high. And goddamn, the spread is Chiefs minus 12.5. I don't think the Panthers cover that. They're one of those like good bad teams where they could be good but they're bad. They're just
I got you.
They're good at being bad.
They got potential. You see, you want them to do well.
It's the Matt Rule effect, right? I mean, it's the Matt Rule rebuild. That's what he does. So give them a couple of years, they'll figure it out.
But yeah, Chiefs all around the board. Next up, we got the Bears and the Titans. John, who you got? Both 5-2.
Titans.
Ed, who you got?
Titans are 6-point favorites in this game. Jesus. Over under is 46.5. I don't know. You don't know what you're going to get from these teams, but I don't see the Titans losing 3 in a row.
Yeah, right.
I also don't see the Bears not pulling another one out of their ass, but give me the over because I think this is just going to be a weird game. But give me the Titans.
Drew,
The
you
rider
got?
with BGN.
I got the Titans. I don't believe in the Bears no more. I don't believe in Nick Foles.
Yeah, and the thing is,
after that game with the Saints, I watched that game. That game was like he tried every possible way to lose, bro.
But they came back. They almost fucking won that thing.
I can't.
Crazy.
That game was awful from Nick Foles. Like even though they almost came back and won, his quarterbacking is awful.
I feel bad for that defense, man. That defense has kept them in games.
Yes,
I'm surprised, man. You've been strong with the calling of Nick by his nickname, so you're not riding with the BGN.
Oh, Big Dick Nick?
Yeah.
Say his nickname. Come on.
well, I'm gonna go with the Bears this game again. This is one of those games, like Ed said, you don't really know. Titans lost 2, Bears lost 2 in a row, 3 in a row, or something like that. So this is a redemption game for both. I think the Bears defense can do a little something. So I'm gonna go with the Bears. All right, next up we got the Broncos versus the Falcons. Johnny, who you got?
Falcons.
Eddie, who you got?
Falcons are favored in this game, huh? Minus 4 points, over under 50. Give me the over. Give me my marquee miss player in Drew Lock and the Denver Broncos. I regret that pick immediately.
All right.
No, I don't.
Drew, who you got?
I'm taking the Broncos.
Again, I like to believe in the Falcons. So I want to go with them. I'm going to go with the Falcons.
Until the Falcons show me something, it's not.
Even though they're 2-6, I believe them.
The Falcons need to show me something. I can't believe in the Falcons.
All right. We got a good matchup. Great matchup, by the way. We got the Lions versus the Vikings.
That's what we call great Vikings.
Johnny, who you got?
Nah, go roll that.
Again?
Lions, Vikings.
Lions.
Ed.
Vikings are 3.5-point favorites. Over under is 53.5 points. Honestly, again, this is another one of those games. Flip a fucking coin. Who knows what these teams are? Who knows where you're going to get out of these guys? I know Galladay's out for the Lions right now. I expect a huge game from my boy from LSU. Get the guy, Justin Jefferson. Again, Vikings beat the Packers, man. And, who did the Lions beat? So give me the Vikings. And give me the over, and the Lions will cover.
Drew, who you got?
Shit. This game is hard. Mainly because they're both bad. Lions. Let me just a win and a prayer.
All right. And like Ed said, get the gat. Give it up for them boys.
Yeah,
Minnesota. Get the gat. All right, I'm going with the Vikings. John, next up, we got Texans versus Jags. Who you got?
Shit bowl.
Another shit bowl, 1-6.
I got Mr. Hankey.
Mr. Hankey.
Right?
Yeah, South Park. Oh my God, horrible.
I know Mr. Hanky, but I don't get it in this context.
Yeah.
No, I'm just,
It's not like
picking the
Denver's
shit.
playing.
No,
Oh, the Christmas
picking
poo.
shit.
Nah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Shitball.
bad joke, John. That's a bad joke.
What's that bad a joke? Yeah,
That's a
y'all
bad
just you don't let a
joke.
stupid joke over your head.
Nah, that's a
Y'all
bad
let a
joke.
stupid joke go. It's bad because I have to explain it. It's only bad because I have to explain it.
Yeah, but I would have got Mr. Hanky if it was like a Denver game and it would have been poop. Then that would have made sense.
I said shit, bowl.
Yeah.
It's over. It's over now. It's over.
Yeah.
Who you got?
Oh, boo.
Who I got?
I got
John, who you got?
Texans.
Yeah.
Eddie, who you got?
Jacksonville is 6-point underdogs. Over under 51.5 points. We are going to have an unproven quarterback playing for Jacksonville with Gardner Minshew out. The Texans are still a team.
Yeah, I guess.
They are? All right,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to pick them because at least I know who Deshaun Watson is. I don't know who the quarterback is for the Jaguars. I'll find out his name.
Who you got?
And also they're not going to cover and give me the under.
No, Minshew not playing.
Yeah, Minshew's out. I'm saying I don't know who the new quarterback is. Give me a second. I got it.
I totally made up my mind. I totally made my mind up right then and there. The Texans.
Yeah, after shut that, I don't know who their backup is in Jacksonville. I'm gonna go with the Texans as well. Wow,
Jake Luton will be the starter. Luton. Jake Luton.
Never heard of him.
Don't know who the fuck he is.
All right, next up, NFC East. We got Giants versus the football team. Johnny, who you got?
Jimi.
Eddie, who you got?
Jake Luton is a rookie quarterback this year, out of University of Ohio. So that's cool. I'm sorry. What was the? I just wanted to look up who this guy was. Matchup is Giants, Washington.
Yep.
Washington's. Oh, look at that. The football team is favored 3 points. Giants have been in close games. I think they'll cover. They'll cover that. Honestly, this could be a 1-point game, so definitely do not take the spread on this. Over-under is 43. I don't really know about that 43 point over-under. So I'm going to go with the first place Washington football team. Are they in first place? Who knows?
I'm not even sure. I don't think
Who
so.
knows?
I think Eagles are, even with the one.
Really?
Yeah. Drew,
Yikes.
who you got?
Giants.
I got Washington. Last time I went against Washington, they won. I think they played the Giants. Yeah.
Yeah, beat us.
They haven't beat y'all this season?
Nah. We beat
them.
They beat them last time. They almost lost that game, but
okay.
They ended up winning. Revenge game.
All right, so I'm going to go with Washington still. All right, next up we got Seahawks versus the Bills. Johnny, who you got?
Seahawks.
Eddie.
Bills are 2.5-point underdogs, 53.5 point over under here. Give me the Bills and the money line. They cover, they win. Mm-hmm.
Drew, who you got?
What was the game again?
Seahawks.
Bills, Seahawks.
Oh, now this is also was a candidate for my Marquee Miss. I think I want to pick the Seahawks, but yeah, the Seahawks. I'm gonna pick the Seahawks.
Yeah, the way Russ DK and them been playing, I'm gonna give it to them. Go with the Seahawks. Next up, we got Raiders versus the Chargers. Johnny, who you got?
Raiders.
Eddie.
Well, they got the line right. Chargers are actually 1.5-point favorites in this game, 54 points. Raiders will win by 3 because that's just the way that it's been going for my poor San Diego Chargers and Justin Herbert.
Los Angeles.
And yeah, I'm sure you can have the over on that.
All right, Drew, who you got?
Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm going to go with the Raiders. Next up, another game with who said it should be a good game? I think Drew said it.
Yeah, Drew did. It's
Dol-
the mini
Dolphins,
bowl.
yeah, Dolphins Cardinals. John,
It's the
who you
baby
got?
bowl.
Shoot, that is gonna be a good game.
Johnny, who you got? Dolphins Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Ed, who you got?
Cardinals are 6-point favorites, 47.5 over under. Go under again. Tua didn't do much. I don't think that defense and special teams are going to have the game that they had. Too many weapons for Arizona. So yeah, I mean, you got to give me Arizona.
Drew, who you got?
I think the proven commodity in Arizona.
Yeah, I got 3 players on my fantasy team from Arizona: Kyler, Hop, and Edmund. So
You have Diop in that league?
Yeah, I
Oh,
got.
no. I have Evans. Or Adams.
Damn.
I have Diop in like 2 other leagues. That's why I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so I'm definitely going with. I'm definitely going with Arizona. I need a good game because I've been getting smoked. I got Kev this week too.
Yeah, that's another loss for him.
Yeah, so yes, another loss for Kev. All right, next up. we
Kev
got
out here. I'm gonna put up my fucking fantasy wins every time I fucking go.
No, but why? No, with the first picture I put up, right? So he like, yo, why you put me up with the 7, yo? Like, change the picture.
Of course, yeah, of course. That's what he gets for talking all that shit. He got smoked.
All right, Steelers, Cowboys. Johnny, who you got? Oh, sweet. That's
Yeah,
good.
that's sweet.
What are you talking about?
Steelers.
Yeah, I'm going with the Steelers.
What's the over-under?
So here's something. It's completely off the board. As of right now, there is no money line on it just yet. This is according to, I'm not going to say which source I'm using.
Niggas like, I ain't betting on that shit.
Yeah, I don't think anyone should. Whatever the under is, eventually take it. Whatever the Cowboys money line is, take it. This is historically bad. Like, every week I look at Jet games and I'm like, oh, cool. I wonder what the over-under is going to be. I wonder what the over-under is going to be. I thought it was the highest I ever saw. Like, we were like 14-point underdogs against Miami, which is awful. And then this past week we were 20-point underdogs against the Chiefs. And then we did not cover that. But yeah, no, this one's completely off the board. This sucks. Sucks to be Cowboys, I guess.
What's the point? What's the shit?
Well, there is nothing. It's not up there. As of right now, there is no line. There's no line on this game.
When I last checked, they had the Steelers like 15.5.
Yeah, but they're pretty much saying that this is going to be a wash. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the fucking Steelers won by 30, unless they fucking put their backups in at some point, and I'm sure you'll probably see that with an unproven quarterback in there.
I'm about to go put 500 on the Cowboys.
Yo, listen. Maybe.
Clean up. All right,
if you got it.
Next up should be a good game.
No, you know what you need to do, right? You need to take a group trip on the Sunday. Well, not Sunday. We can go on a Saturday and go to New Jersey, go to FanDuel.
But we can't be there for more than 24 hours. That is the mandate now.
Right.
COVID, okay?
We just go for a ride and be right back.
Yeah. You not even get.
We could just pull over right after the bridge.
Yeah. Eat, make some shit, put some bets in and debt.
Or we can get sponsored by a VPN, and then we can just say that we're in New Jersey when we're not.
I'm just saying, that's not illegal. I'm not saying to plug them or anything, but you're trying to make some money right now. I punched a $5 ticket in last week. Just putting it out there. $500 ticket came out to $900, but it didn't work out.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, next up we got the Saints versus the Bucks. John, who you got? Saints, Bucks.
Why the fuck did I pause? I don't know. You said Bucks. I thought about Giannis for a quick second.
Buccaneers.
Go Brady. Go Brady. Back.
And who you got?
Back.
So John was talking about going to Jersey. I wonder what would happen if we went to Vegas, where we could probably like bet how many different receivers catch a touchdown on the Buccaneers team. Whether Antonio Brown gets one, and Gronk gets one, and Godwin gets one, and Scotty gets one, and Mike Evans gets one. So the over/under here, the over/under is 54.5 points. Give me the over. I feel like you're going to get a big game from Alvin Kamara. Who knows what's going on with Michael Thomas? I don't even think he's in the league anymore at this point. I don't know who's number 11 on the Saints. Moore. They just keep fucking feeding that kid the ball. But again, outside of Kamara, they really have anything going on for them. Unfortunately, I have to pick the Bucks. They are 4-point favorites. I think New Orleans covers. Again, they play pretty close games, but they look bad right now. Even though they're 5-2, they look like the worst 5-2 team besides the Bears.
Right, definitely. All right, Drew, who you got?
Yeah, the Buccaneers. Man, the Saints don't look too hot.
And because of that, I'm going with the Saints. Bucks barely put out the game this week. Saints can definitely score more than the Giants. And Alvin is starting on my fantasy team. So let's get them points up there. I got the Saints. Last up, best game of the week.
Game of the week. Monday Night Football, the best Monday Night Football ever.
Monday night, AFC East. We got the Pats versus the Jets. Johnny, who you got?
I got the New York Cam Newton's Patriots. What the fuck? Shit.
You said New York Cam Newtons?
Yeah.
Why you said New York Cam Newtons? New England Cam Newtons?
I started saying it off as I was going to say the Jets.
As he was going to say the Jets.
Yeah.
Fuck the Jets.
All right, Ed, who you got?
So we are 7-point underdogs. I would like to say we're going to cover the spread, but we are like, 0-8 against our fucking spread at this point. I don't think we ever covered. The worst offensive team in football, the worst football team I've ever seen play in my, again, now 30 years of living on this planet. Literally the worst team I've seen, and I've seen some bad teams. 41 over under. Obviously take the under. The Patriots suck too. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets cover if the Patriots win by 3. Bill Belichick's not going to let the Jets beat them, but this is what some people might call a trap game or whatever. Who knows?
This not trap game.
Who knows? Is Cam gonna see ghosts? Is Sam gonna see ghosts? Something stupid, funny always happens on Monday Night Football with the Jets. Whether it's a butt fumble or seeing ghosts, I don't care anymore, man. Just bring on 2021. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore.
So who you pick?
I picked the Pats. I think I pretty much picked them. But
I mean, here's the thing about this, right? About the game. The New England is playing like, I know New England can turn it up, like, but at this moment, the New England ain't playing good. Like both these teams are like doing. They're not good. Both of them.
Right.
So this makes it hard because both teams is kind of trash at the moment. But I probably go pick a shot in the dark. I'm gonna pick the Jets.
And I'm gonna follow you, Drew. I'm gonna go with the Jets. Pats ain't that good either. Like, why not? Why not be the week they get a win?
Because I want to go 0-16.
I mean, yeah, but they win.
Not for a tanking season. Not for the first overall draft pick. Yeah. And again, to be clear, so Adam Gase never gets a job ever again in the NFL period.
Yeah, I got the Jets taking it, and this is our picks now. I will get DQs and KF picks, but so by the time you see this graphic, their picks will be here. So check it out. Here's everyone's picks. like always, and we're going to finally get to the last segment. We always say it's going to be quick episodes when there's less people, but it never happens. Last segment, 5-5. Now, MLB season just finished, so we can't leave without celebrating. Again, congratulations to the LA Dodgers. But this week we're doing top moments of the MLB season, 5-5. So from 5 to 1, your favorite moments, highlights, or just moments. Last week, Eddie had the shit list with the bubble. So your favorite.
That was an awesome list.
By far the best list we had on any 5-5. But as you can, from that list, you can see, you can still touch on the sport, but it don't really have to be the sport. But 5-5 MLB season moments from 5 to 1, kicking it out to Drew. And number 5, what you got?
The Marlins being a shit show with all them COVID tests.
So the Marlins fucking up baseball is just number 5 with COVID. Marlins and COVID. Gotcha. So Drew might have the shit list this week. Let's check it out. Let's see how this go. Eddie, and number 4. And number 5. What do you got?
So I've now decided that after that list that I did last week, I just want to have a lot of fun with these lists going forward.
Right.
Because fuck it, whatever. I don't care. Whatever. You guys are gonna enjoy it and you're gonna love it. On number 5 is gonna be Hot Mike, starting with Tom Brenneman, the guy that was obviously caught on the hot mic using a racial slur. A slur against the LGBT community. And then also, that's like the negative one. But the positive one, at least for me, maybe not for the children that were watching the games, but the actual reactions of the players when they were on hot mics, like we heard a lot of like, fuck, shit,
right.
Like, you fucking kid. Like a lot of those.
Umpires and all.
Everything between umpires, coaches, players, announcers, everybody. So hot mics all over the place. It was fun. It was great. It makes you remember, like, these are the things that we watch happen in sports all the time. And baseball players get really, really frustrated because, again, you strike out or you pop out on a stupid pitch, you feel like an idiot.
Right. John, at number 5, what you got?
On number 5, Marlins making the playoffs.
Good shit. And me and Ed is simpatico on my list. Hold on, let me pull up my
You had hot mics too? That's
number
crazy.
5, I got hot mics.
Yeah.
No, let's hot mics. Because they were saying with the COVID, no fans, you hear every fucking thing, and they were spazzing this season. So no, it's nothing new. We just actually get to hear it this year. So
yeah, it was awesome.
At number 5, I got hot mics. Drew, at number 4, what you got?
All right. This is like, I want to say, because this is a great thing because they were cheaters last season. Everybody wanted to see them fail. So this is a failing moment when the Tampa Bay Rays eliminated the Houston Astros out of the playoffs. So.
All right, cool. Can we mute him now for the rest of the fucking segment? Come on, bro. Come on. This is a New York podcast, man. Why are you shitting on the Yankees?
I say when the Tampa Bay Rays
eliminated Astros.
Oh, the Astros. Yeah, but they beat us to get there, and we don't like that.
I did not say the Tampa Bay.
I'm sorry. You said Tampa Bay, and I immediately boiled. I'm sorry.
He instantly, his ears turned off.
Yeah.
His ears turned off. So he heard Tampa.
I'm sorry.
It's chill.
He was already gone. All right. Ed, at number 4, what you got?
My number 4 is the emergence of the team that I was rooting for the whole way through. Unfortunately, it didn't work through. Outside of the Yankees. Slam Diego is what I'm going to call them. Okay. Slam Diego, just hitting home runs all over the place. Tatis flipping bats. Manny Machado literally probably praying every time after he flipped the bat, going, fuck, I really hope they don't hit me. And then ended up walking to first base right after. But I mean, the team was energetic. They were fun to watch. They have a bright future. Future.
Yeah,
and again,
definitely.
team to look out for going forward. Definitely scared of it in a World Series setting.
Yep. John, at number 4, what you got?
Number 4 is Luke Voigt, MLB home run leader for the 60-game season.
That shit. All right.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Go ahead.
My number 4 is the fans.
I have to switch it up now.
The fans booing the commissioner.
Yeah.
After World Series, after the Astros shit that happened, and he just fucked them commissioner anyway. So this was the first opportunity for Dodgers fans to actually get back at him for the bullshit from the Astros. So they booed the fuck out of him after with the MVP ceremony and the trophy ceremony. So good moment because Eddie seems to hate him a lot.
He's stupid. He's just an idiot. Yeah.
So that was a funny moment for me. So yeah, fan boos the commissioner at number 4. Drew at number 3, what you got?
Joe Kelly game fucking suspended for 8 games for pitching at the Astros played.
So the way you're supposed to phrase that is hero Joe Kelly.
Hero Joe Kelly.
Hero.
For suspended for 8 games for pitching for throwing bombs at the Astros. Hero Joe Kelly.
And now he's straight. All right, Ed at number 3.
My number 3 is the Dodgers finally get the monkey off their back. They win it all. Again, like I said, they've been there before, but this is a team this is a franchise that's been longing for a World Series since they've been in LA. They went through a lot, obviously the Astros cheating scandal and the Clayton Kershaw not clutch factor. But they finally did it. They might all have COVID now, but they did it, and I hope it was worth it.
All right, John, number 3.
At number 3, I got the Dodgers coming back from 3-1 to beat the Braves to get to the World Series.
Bless you. Oh, speaking of COVID, Johnny got it.
Johnny, just pass it. Just pass it to the fam.
Thank God we're doing this over Zoom.
John passing the vid. All right, at number 3, Ed spoke about the emergence of this team and the Padres, but mine was more specific to the emergence of Tatis.
Fernando.
So that's my number 3. And that all fair ball shit, they was fucking with him, made him apologize. All that goofy bullshit.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
But emergence of Tatis, definitely a player to look out for. Going to be one of the faces of the league moving forward. So hopefully, this is just the beginning. So number 3, the emergence of Tatis. All right, Drew, at number 2, what you got?
I wouldn't say greatest moment, definitely stupidest moments. This leads into my number 1, but the Rays pulling Blake Snell from pulling Blake Snell and
look at that! Look at that! Nice,
Good
Drew.
Shit. Good shit. Like some nice little mix. I like that, Drew. Nice little mix list. All right, Ed at number 2.
My number 2, Drew said a little earlier. Looks like we keep, doing this little simpatico thing, but hero Joe Kelly and his. That's right. He did what everybody in baseball should have done.
Right. He only one had the balls to do it.
Yeah, and he's a fucking nut job. And you know what? I fucking hate Joe Kelly. You can also try to add the clip where he threw at Tyler Austin, John, if you remember that game when he was with the Red Sox. And Tyler Austin broke his bat. Joe Kelly is still a fucking animal, and he went again. I don't like to fucking give the Red Sox any kind of credit, but I mean Tyler Austin was ready to fuck Joe Kelly up, and Joe Kelly was ready to scrap. He is a psychopath.
Mm-hmm. He remind me he could play a Joker character,
Yeah, he's a serial killer. He literally is a serial killer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He would be Joker for Halloween and shit.
Yeah. He probably was.
All right, John, at number 2.
My number 2 is a tie. I gotta give credit to both players. Lucas Gelato of the White Sox, no-hitter, August 25th.
Yep.
And Alec Mills threw a no-hitter for the Cubs, September 13th. So I want to give them both credit. They both tied for number 2. 2 pitchers with no-hitters. And they're the only no-hitters for this year.
Well, I'm only repping one side, and that's the South side.
No, it's funny. No, it's funny. They both Chicago pitchers.
Yeah. That's why I said I'm only repping one side. I'm only repping one side. That's the South side. My guy.
So you're going
at number,
Lucas?
yeah, at number 2, I got the homie Lucas. I thought his name was Giolito. For the no hit. Gelato is a frozen treat, Johnny.
Gelato. I'm talking about boss's name, but
we know who you're talking about because I'm talking about the same person at number 2. Now we're gonna get into number 1 on our MLB Season Moments. Drew, what you got? Number 1.
Just like I said, the number 2 leads into my number 1. The LA Dodgers winning it all.
Respect.
Kershaw getting that monkey off his back with his first championship. Motherfucking Justin Turner infected everybody with COVID. Let's go. Dodgers win.
All right, Ed. 1 for LA.
My number 1 was gonna be something I was gonna bring up for Bag It or Trash It, but once I realized what our Fab 5 was for the week, I decided to take this upon myself to officially, or maybe officially, unofficially, give the crown to Mookie Betts as the face and the best player in baseball. Obviously,
Definitely.
you know, Mike Trout has been known to do it, but like, when was the last time we seen Mike Trout make it to the playoffs and also win consecutive games? Again, I don't want to take anything away from Mike Trout. I still think he is one of the best players in baseball, but you can't discredit Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts has now won 2 championships in 2 different cities. You know, we're giving LeBron a lot of credit for the same kind of thing that he's doing. Obviously, he's one of the highest paid players in the MLB. And then, you know, you can even like kind of do Mookie Betts / solidarity. For the first time in the MLB, we actually saw, you know, them standing with Black Lives Matter and kneeling for the anthem. And I do remember opening day when Mookie was the face of it all, and he took his knee, and you had guys like Justin Turner and Jock Peterson with his hands, with their hands on his shoulder, supporting him. And since then, he's just been that guy. I mean, the guy's got swagger in the outfield. The guy can hit. And again, he is a public figure at this point now, where he's been very, very adamant about it. So the emergence of Mookie Betts as the best player in the MLB, the face of baseball.
He's top 3 finalist for NL MVP.
Exactly. And I think he will get it.
I'm
we'll
actually
see.
happy. I laugh at the Red Sox getting rid of him. I laugh.
Oh yeah, no, okay, and then again, yeah, another top moment too. You could have kept them, you idiots. Why?
Yeah.
John at number 1.
At number 1, I got the Dodgers getting over the hump, winning the World Series, winning it all. LA Dodgers. That's my number 1.
Yeah, I think we all simpatico, but mine is specifically Mookie Betts, number 1. They did it for Kobe. LA, you know, having a great year, but Mookie has definitely put himself as the front runner when it comes to the face and the future of baseball. Black man doing his thing, holding it down, winning multiple championships, one in Boston, one here, first year, come here, lead them on both sides, hitting and playing defense. He just does it all. So my number 1 is definitely Mookie Betts. And again, congratulations to the Dodgers. For Mookie, you the one, bro. And that's our episode 29 of the OSA.
Woo!
Make sure
our
you
election
comment,
episode. And not looking good for somebody. I won't say.
Somebody. Y'all see it. But
I don't want to get ahead of myself.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Trump is actually winning because they didn't count the states that he's leading in, like Florida.
Yeah. Texas, obviously.
I think that's what I think. But I think that's what Ed was saying. Al said it.
Oh no! I thought he was trying to say it wasn't looking good for Trump.
No. Nobody thought that ever. But that's our episode 29 of the OSA. Missing 2 guys, but they'll be back next week. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. When it comes to, make sure you stream, make sure you share, make sure you rate.
Download and write a review. I just learned that reviews actually really, really help us. So write a review.
And comment.
2 stars in a review. I don't care. 1 star in a review. Just leave a review. It helps.
Also, if you want, DM the OSA IG page and give us suggestions if you want something.
Word. You got an idea for 5-5? Do you have an idea for 5-5? Let us know, and we'll put that in the pot.
Idea for bagging the trash shit.
Or bagging the trash shit. Exactly. Let us know. We'll put that in the pot. That's how we rock, and we're gonna shout you out, especially if it's good. If it's bad, and if it's bad, we're gonna laugh at you. So I'm gonna tell you, that shit was trash.
How many little fans do you have at this point? We appreciate you.
44 on YouTube. 44 subscribers, and we growing. But that's
We're growing. And if you follow one of us, what are you doing? If you follow me, if you follow John, you follow Drew, you follow Kev, you follow DQ, you follow Dev, why is it that we only have 100 followers on our Instagram page? Change that.
And
Be the change.
And I'm pretty sure all of us got like almost 1,000 or more.
Yeah, almost 1,000. Yeah.
So what's the problem? What's going on? Y'all don't like us? Like y'all don't like us for real?
I don't think they like us together. I think they like us all as doses.
Yeah, like I can only deal with so much of you guys at once. I can't deal with it. All right, but again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. John's here, Ed's here, Drew's here, I'm here. DQ and Kev will be back next week. But like always, Ed,
we out.
Don't know.